Ed Vasinic along with Hector Marinaro, the Columbus Invaders going through their pregame introductions as they get set to take on the Crunch here. Columbus, as I told you, come in with a record of 0-1. They lost right here to Wichita last week by a final score of 19-12. And as you'll find out as this game progresses, the Invaders with a lot of fresh faces on the floor and a lot of guys that are new to the indoor game as well. So they're kind of learning this game as they go along. Over on the Cleveland Crunch side, Crunch at 2-0. They opened at home with an 18-7 victory over the expansion Toronto Shooting Stars, and then came up with a big 14-8 victory over Baltimore. We're going to head down to the field for the singing of our national anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
NPSL soccer is new to the Columbus area. As of recently, the Columbus Invaders actually have a rich history back in Canton. As you see there in the early years of the NPSL and the AISA, as it was called early on, Canton 5 championships, Hector, and they had some players actually playing in this game tonight.
Yeah, they were definitely the dominant team back then, and then a couple of players playing for the Crunch now that were part of those championships. Of course, Tim Team, our assistant coach and player now, and also Kia.
But since the Invaders won it back in 1990, no team has repeated. There you see Chicago, Detroit, Kansas City, St. Louis, and of course the Crunch with championships in 94, 96. So the goal obviously this year for Cleveland to win back-to-back championships, and it'll be the first time that has been done in since 1990. Otto Orf with his teammates, and I think we're about ready to go to starting lineups for this evening's contest. Bruce Miller with some last-minute advice for his team. There's the starting lineup for the Crunch. Otto in gold with the defense of Scott Schweitzer and Tim Tima, and makeshift up front, Tommy Tanner, Henrik Gutierrez, and Mickey Vinyevich.
Yeah, look for Scott Schweitzer. He's playing with a very big toe. He jammed it in the boards in practice this week and hasn't practiced since Wednesday, but he's that's starting tonight.
Over on the Columbus Invaders side, Jim Adams will get the start in goal. Neil Gilbert, their captain, one of the few guys with indoor experience on the Columbus side with Chris Duff. And the forward line will be Jim Hesch, Ricky Greenwood, and Nick Ijo.
I think Neil Gilbert there is very familiar to a few Crunch fans. He's a rough and tumble defender and likes to mix it up.
There's our officials. Rich Grady is the guy you see on the screen. He will be joined by Steve Siomos, the veteran senior official in the NPSL, and we're moments away from soccer here at Patel Hall. The Crunch sporting their away designer Fila jerseys.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Got a chance to see the home jerseys in the opener against the Toronto Shooting Stars.
You definitely ain't going to miss the Crunch players out there tonight.
No, you are not. There's Otto Orf. Otto comes in with a record of 2-0 and points against of 7.50, which is best in the league. Tell you what, if the Crunch defense continues to give up less than 10 points a game, there's
every time we go out on the field, Bruce Miller emphasizes us to defense is #1, and we try to keep opponents under 10 points, and we've done that so far this year.
There's Jimmy Adams, his points against at 19. It was a 19-12 loss to the Wichita Wings here at Patel Hall. Last year the Crunch was 31-9. The Canton Invaders went 6-34. We saw Bruce Miller as the head coach behind the crunch bench. Drago Yaha is the head coach for the Columbus Invaders.
Hey, Yaha's been involved here in Columbus for years, and I think just about every pro team that's ever been in Columbus, he's been a part of.
We're waiting for the lights to get back to full force here at Battelle Hall, and while we have a moment, the next time you can see the crunch is this Sunday at home at the CSU Convocation Center. They will be taking on George Fernandez and the Cincinnati Silverbacks, a 3:05 kickoff. Ex-crunch player, and it'll be kind of fun to...
George taking over for Gary Henley down in Cincinnati since Gary moved on to Buffalo. George stepped in from assistant coach up to head coach, and he's also playing now.
Still waiting for the lights to come on. Somebody's got to find the correct switch as they're scrambling back. Somebody light the candles. Hector, while we got a moment, let's talk about your suspension. This game 2 of 3, so you missed that Cincinnati game, and a game you'll be back in Cincinnati a week from tonight, as a matter of fact. And I know you'd rather be playing, but maybe this little break is good for you physically. Yeah,
it has come at a nice time. I had a long outdoor summer with the Rochester Rhinos. We had a successful summer, and with success comes the length of the season. We went all the way to 2 finals, and actually we just finished playing last week, so it gives me a little bit of a break, and but I'd still much rather be out there.
You know, the other thing that I was thinking about as we talked about the amount of injuries that you guys have sustained early on, you know, it's a tough thing to deal with when it happens, but in the long run, a lot of times it can help out. Last year, Todd Dosowski got a chance to get into the lineup with Henry Gutierrez's injury, and it gives those guys who you know, aren't able to break in the lineup a chance to get out there and get some experience.
Yeah, as much as you'd like to stay away from injuries, this is a great time for them to happen, because it gives all the young players that don't get much playing time a chance to play and see what they can do. And you know, you don't want those young players having to step into playoff time, haven't been able to play all year, and expect them to do a job in the playoffs.
There's Bruce Miller, the coach of the year last year.
Well deserved. You know, first year to win a championship, you can't ask for much more than a coach.
One of the guys that is one of those young players getting into the lineup we'll see tonight, John Ball. John got actually a start in the playoffs last year and the championship series against the Kansas City Attack, and he'll step on the second line with Glenn Carbonera. All right, I think we got enough light to play. There's the whistle. Vinjevich rifles one right at goal. It's showtime right off the bat. Hello, Jim Adams.
Nick, he's testing him right off the bat.
He had a P from the kickoff. This is Neil Gilbert. Gilbert bangs it off the boards. Tima got a piece of it, then cleared it out to Gutierrez, and this is Nicky Vinjevich. 13 points. He leads the crunch in scoring early on. Ball knocked down into the corner. This is Ricky Greenwood. He goes there with Scott Schweitzer, and we saw Scott come away limping just a bit.
Yeah, like I said, he's playing with a bad big toe. And he's probably going to be hobbling around all night, but I think if we get up to a good lead here, I think you'll see him coming out of the game.
Ricky Greenwood over to Jim Hesh, wearing number 8 in the corner, tries to give and go. Just a bit too high for Hesh to handle on the backside, and the Crunch break out right to left. One of 2 games the Crunch will play this weekend. This is Ricky Greenwood with some space. He moves to the corner, cut down by Tim Tima, and the shot stopped by Otto Orf. Play to the midfield. First guy there is Chris Duff. He'll peel off to the corners. This is a very narrow and very short field. We're going to see a lot of bodily contact throughout this game.
There's not much room to move around there. You're going to see a lot of body contact, a lot of fouls, I think.
Schweitzer dumped it in the give and go. Tanner in a race to the corner. Held off neatly there by Jim Hesh, and out to Nick Eigel. Eigel played it ahead. Ricky Greenwood, a big forward from Seattle, to his left foot opening. He hit the post. He had Orf beat. And Paul Can was coming through. He got his signals crossed up with Ricky Greenwood there. A couple of dangerous chances for the Invaders early on.
Yeah, Scott Schweitzer seems to really be struggling with his big toe. I don't see him going much more.
Andy Schmetzer in a race forward. I thought I heard a whistle blow, so did everybody else. And Steve Siomas blows the whistle down there in front of the scorer's table to check out what's going. Kia in discussion with Steve Siomas, and by the way, while we're mentioning Kia, he wants to say hello to his little girl, Chloe.
I think the Crunch is looking for too many men, I think.
I thought I heard a whistle. And I think so did Andy Schmetzer.
I think the third official in the box blew the whistle for too many men, but I don't know against who.
Steve Sioma's calling over the captains, Andy Schmetzer for the Crunch, Neil Gilbert for the Columbus Invaders. Getting things straightened out. Both guys seem to agree with what's going on. And we'll get back to play. By the way, the Crunch has owned much of an upper hand against the Invaders in their history, winning 18 of 23 games. In fact, they're on a 13-game winning streak against an Invader club. The last time the Invaders beat the Crunch was in 1994, March of '94. It's a long dry spell.
Yeah, definitely.
Into the corner they go. This is Paul Can, one of the 3 midfielders on the Columbus side. Double team there, and got it back to Jim Adams. Adams throws it long. Down in the corner is Meka Moname, the brother of Crunch midfielder Obi. Here comes Otto to the half line. Whoa, got a bit under that.
Otto was saying in the locker room before the game he wanted to come up and take some free kicks, but he's going out there early. He's going to dribble out.
Otto, along with Glenn Carbonaro, will be headed to Pittsburgh this Sunday to partake in a tryout for the U.S. indoor team. Otto was spectacular in Guatemala over the summer as the U.S. qualified in the regionals.
Yeah, he was. He won goalkeeper of the tournament in that tournament, and I know the Crunch man is not too thrilled about him going, but it's a great opportunity for him.
Those that make the team will be headed to Barcelona, Spain, the end of, actually in about 2 weeks.
I think it's November 19th to December 8th. The tournament.
6 games the Crunch will play over that span. Nice play there by Ben Powers, who stepped inside of Todd Dusaski. And Dusaski is called for grabbing the shirt.
Todd was looking to feel him on his backside to try to hold him off, and the guy just stepped around him.
Long ball, Ricky Greenwood. He had a great attempt moments ago. That time he's triple teamed. Andy Schmetzer tries to come away with it. Greenwood got a piece of it. And Gilbert carries on, played along the boards. This is Paul Can. He can't catch up to it. And Otto will scoop it.
I think what we're looking tonight out of our second line is just to play even with Columbus's second line, and then look for our first line to do the bulk of the scoring.
There's John Ball, a guy we talked about moments ago. John, a second-year player. Vinjevic in trouble with Gilbert on him hard. Gilbert from Buenos Aires.
Yeah, that's Neil's game right there. He likes to mix it up and commits a lot of fouls in the game.
Still looking for our first points of the game. We're about 3.5 minutes in. A posting Gutierrez to backheel. Vinjevic left foot across. Nobody at the far post. Can will get it ahead of Tanner. Held him off neatly, and the Invaders break out. Outside of the left foot. Across. Duff missed everybody. Tanner with a crazy bounce off the boards. He lost the ball on his way out. This is Chris Duff. Duff cut it to the near side, on it is Can. He lost the ball, and Vinjevic comes away. Mickey, 25 years old. 13 points. And as I said, the game-winning goal has an opening, played it back. Gutierrez! Here comes Tanner! He just hit it on the flying volley.
Great build-up by the Crunch there. Henry, Nicky, and Tommy, all 3 of them going 1-2s back and forth, and just too bad Tommy missed that open net.
So there's a timeout on the floor with 10:46 to go in the first quarter. We're still looking for our first points. It's the Crunch and the Invaders. Come on back.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
At BP, our high-octane Super 93 is formulated with our highest level of engine cleaning power. Super 93 delivers everything you demand in a premium gasoline, so you can concentrate on more important things.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving. We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
I was diagnosed with prostate cancer in March of 1994. I survived. But since then, over 80,000 men didn't. As a soldier, I know you can't win a war without research. And the battle against prostate cancer is no different. We need research. Help us win the war on prostate cancer. It's a war we can't afford to lose.
some sweet stuff led to a chance for the Crunch.
Yeah, here's Nicky and Henry working their magic. Henry hitting it off the boards. And Tommy just missing with the outside of his right foot.
On the ensuing free kick, the Crunch just over the crossbar, and Columbus breaking away. Schmetzer stepped in, got a peg on it, but here comes Jim Hesch. Hesch collects at the yellow line. He cut at the pass behind Nick Eigel. Eigel is one of the many guys on the Columbus side who really hadn't played indoor soccer prior to this season. And we saw that with the Toronto Shooting Stars as well. A lot of good outdoor players there that are learning the game as they go.
A lot of good soccer players, but that don't really understand the indoor game. But when they do, they'll be a team to be reckoned with.
When we get a chance, Hector, I want you to talk about some of the main things that you have to do differently indoor from an outdoor perspective. Ricky Greenwood breaks free into the corner. Team over there to get him. He tried to cut it to the far side. Eigel's wide open, and there's a goal. It's waved off by Siomos.
I think the new rule now is you have to wait for the whistle, and there was no whistle to start that play.
Nice vision there from Ricky Greenwood.
Sure was. Too bad it didn't count.
So Hesch will put it in play. The crowd here at Patel Hall not all that thrilled with the whistle, as you might imagine. Two-man wall for the Crunch. Hesch out high. It's blocked by Troy Desowski.
I think Scotty's off already. He seems to be struggling the first shift out there. I think Troy's in the lineup now, playing on the second line with Tima.
You know, Troy is one guy that Tim Team has kind of taken under his wing and teaching him the ropes.
Yeah, the twins both taught it for a lot of ability, a lot of raw talent. And looking for big things for these players in the future.
Another block by the Desowski twins that time. Give them each a half. And there's Todd. Nice back heel. It never got to Schmetzer.
That could have been a 2-minute penalty there for an intentional handball, with the refs didn't think so.
Schmetzer took a whack. It got blocked. They carry on. Adams pops off of his line to scoop it. He'll sidearm it. Eigel with a nice collection there in traffic, but the toe of Todd Desowski got to it first. Now a battle along the boards. Chris Duff came away, volleys it wide. Otto with a quick right hand slapped it down.
Great pickup off the boards by Otto there.
This is Kia. Chasing a loose ball. The goalkeeper's playing a little catch now. Very short.
It's very easy to do in this field. Yeah, it's very narrow, very short.
One-touch early ball from Tima. Kia plays it into space. Schmetzer after, and he got run off by a pair of white shirts. Turning is Chris Duff.
That was well read by the Columbus defender to intercept that ball.
This is Hesch in traffic. The trailing Duff, left-footer from three-point land. It's over the crossbar. Schmetzer played it one time out of trouble.
When we were down on the field before the game, I was with Otto on the field, and the glass right above the net is a lot livelier than the boards on the side. So look for the balls off the top of the net, coming out a lot quicker.
Gutierrez darted onto a ball that was misplayed. Henry very strong for his 5'8" frame. This is John Ball, slid it in. Tanner held off a mark and drew a foul. The Crunch is going to have a free kick in the corner.
That was a great drawn foul by Tommy Tanner there.
You know what I want to know? Now that you and Zorn are out there, these guys are going to be fighting over who takes the free kicks.
Yeah, these guys aren't used to taking them, so they're enjoying these couple games here.
Gutierrez puts it in, he scored! I think Tommy Tanner might have deflected it home. If not, Gutierrez will get the goal.
I think it might have went off a Columbus defender in front of the goal. That's a move that Z makes famous every year. Here it is, Henry Gutierrez just with a toe poke into the middle. And I think it might have hit the wall and then the second defender in front of the net. We'll have to wait and see who gets credited for it.
Couple of fakes.
Yeah, just a little toe poke. The Z does so well.
And I think, you know, we talked about how narrow this field is when you're doing it from that close to goal and it's traveling with that amount of speed.
Yeah, the corner kick here is very close into the goal, so those are very dangerous restarts.
Still waiting for the official word on who got that goal and the time of the goal. Gutierrez will get it unassisted.
Yeah, hit a couple of Columbus defenders and just sneaked by Jimmy Adams. There wasn't much Jimmy could do there.
6:48 the time of the goal for Henry. His third two-point goal of the season. He now has 9 points on the year. This is Tanner. Run off the ball. Now a battle with Gilbert. He got help from Paul Can. Can from Bermuda. in traffic. He can't work his way out. Yes, he does. Now Nick Ijo played it one time. Vinjevic backtracking, and here comes Nicky. He's got long legs, put it through the legs of the defender. Marinara's left foot kicked out.
Good shot by Glenn there. Nicky starting the play in the midfield, passing it over to Glenn. And Glenn just with the quick toe poke release and gave Jimmy Adams a little trouble there. There you see Glenn using the toe here. The dangerous ball is you really don't know where it's going to go.
Vinjevic knocked it out of play. We just got a scoring change. They're going to give the goal to Tanner from Gutierrez at 6:48. So Tommy.
Maybe Tommy did get a foot on it.
There we go. Tommy gets his second goal of the season. Gutierrez picks up his third assist of the year. And the goal comes at 6:48. Wow. That's a missed kick right there.
Last shot by Nicky, a little bit off target.
It was a good hard kick, though. Invaders attack. Nick Ijo along the boards, double team. And the Crunch come away. Andy Schmetzer along the near side. He's tripped up from behind by Ijo, and the Crunch will get it.
That was good work by Todd Dosowski in the corner. They're just muscling the Columbus player off the ball and bringing it upfield.
Ijo, 24 years old, spent 3 seasons with the Columbus Zogs in the USISL. Marinaro will start it off. Glenn actually played very well in Guatemala with the U.S. indoor team as well.
I think Glenn had 2 goals in the championship game, and we've been hearing about it ever since.
No. John Ball came in and cleaned that quickly. Schmetzer back on it. Crunch moving 3-on-3. This is Kia. Kia tried to play the boards. Jimmy
a little bit off
Adams,
target. Kia was trying to hit the boards, looking for Andy Schmetzer streaking down the middle.
Otto will hold it up. We're in the first quarter. The Crunch and the Invaders. A Tommy Tanner goal at 6:48 has the Crunch add 2-0. They're looking for their 3rd win of the season. The Crunch and the Philadelphia Kinks, the only 2 undefeated teams left in the NPSL.
Yeah, Philadelphia off to a tremendous start for being an expansion team. 4-0, beating Milwaukee, Detroit, a couple tough teams, and they're off to a great start.
Now some familiar names on that team. Chris Hanser, who played for the Crunch last year. Of course, Dave McWilliams, the head coach there.
Yeah, they've definitely got a lot of indoor veterans, and that definitely helps when you got an expansion team.
Here come the Invaders. Paul Can with a heavy touch, couldn't catch up to it. Otto played it into space beautifully for Tanner. Here he comes, right side. Tanner hit the post. He had Adams beaten from a sharp angle. Tanner back on it. No, he did well to keep possession of that ball. Ricky Greenwood tried to play a wild back heel. Here comes Vinjevic left side. He'll stop the play, spin on Greenwood, and Greenwood held him off neatly.
Well defended there by Ricky Greenwood. Strong boy, just held Nicky right off.
Yeah, Greenwood at 6'2", 190 pounds. Look at Tanner along the board, spins away. Here he comes ahead. Tanner from 3-point land and gets blocked by Noah Epstein. And with that ball out of play, we're going to slip out. The Crunch with a 2-0 lead. First quarter action from Columbus.
Kid, you got the moves, you got the talent, you got a problem. You're too nice. We'll fix that. Okay, Mr. Lambert. That's how you do it. Move it, move it. Come on, Grant, move it. Dig it, dig it. Oh, come on, Grant. Yeah. Come on, harder, harder, harder. Get out of my face. Good, good, very good. Good start, kid. Tomorrow, headbutt.
Stick around after the Crunch game tonight. It's Live with Les Levine. He offers your chance to speak your mind at 1-888-LES-TALK or at LESTalk@sportschannel.com. Crunch restart. Gutierrez tried to curl it in. That missed. Gilbert along the near boards. He's in a race with Troy DeSaski.
A restart. Didn't miss by very much there.
Nick Igel plays it back to Chris Duff. He walked around a Tanner step in. Slid it into a corner. Hesh holds off a mark. Tanner went in well, but is called for the foul.
Oh, that was great work by Tommy there.
Tommy's a guy that Crunch really want to see healthy for an entire season. Hasn't happened in a couple years, but when he's healthy, he's an 85 to 90 point player.
Yeah, the thing with Tommy Tanner, he plays such a physical game. He's a little guy, and you know he's bound to get injuries in the way he plays.
Here's Neil Gilbert. Gilbert into the box. Igel couldn't handle it. It's up and over the glass. And I really didn't want to say this, but it looks like it's about to start happening. But in the early going, we didn't lose too many balls. And the glass here at Battelle Hall is very low. It's not as high as it is in most arenas. So the ball has a tendency to leave the field of play.
Yeah, I think you got to look for a lot of restarts tonight at both ends because the ball doesn't take much for the ball to go out of bounds here.
Otto, a two-time All-Star, along the floor. The ball he nipped in, almost got a beautiful pass across the key, but that got picked off on its way. Here's Noah Epstein. He missed the first runner, but it wound up on the foot of Jim Hesh. Backside, he's in a battle with John Ball. He has stepped in. Columbus carries on, and Nick Igel missed that terribly.
Just a bit outside.
Yes, indeed. Glenn Carbonara in conversation with Steve Siomas down there on the floor, waiting for the ball to come back. Glenn, 30 years old, from Vineland, New Jersey, and one of Glenn's favorite lines is, hey, Vineland is the backup capital of New Jersey. Like if anything happens to Trenton, Vineland's right there. Ball lofted into the penalty area. Adams tried to play an early ball. He thought better of it. Trouble with the first touch over there by Scott Spencer. This is Ricky Greenwood looking for an opening. He's got a good left foot, as we saw early on. Ben Powers, the give and go backside, got closed up pretty quickly. Can dumped it into the corner, and Carbonaro will be the first one there. Todd got run into, and it looked like maybe a Charlie horse.
I think they might have banged shin earlier this week in practice. Troy and Todd went at it in practice and banged shin. There you see it. Yeah, it looks like the guy's hip got him in the midsection right into the boards there.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Crunch trainer Manny Canamos out taking a look at Todd, who had a tremendous season as a rookie last year, 61 points in 36 games. And as we mentioned early on, he stepped in when Henry Gutierrez broke his foot and missed the first 8 games. As a matter of fact, he played so well after that. He was originally a developmental player, but because he played so well and had so many games, we got him right into the lineup and signed a contract.
Todd is a great talent for us, and the Crunch expect big things from him in the future, and they've signed him to a long-term deal now, and he had a great first year. We're just looking for him to improve every year.
And as I'm looking at him, I'm thinking, man, this guy's only 20 years old.
Yeah, it really is incredible. Both of them, Troy and Todd, got long futures here with the Crunch.
Their connection with Cleveland was with Crunch head coach Bruce Miller, who was very involved in soccer in the Minnesota area.
Yeah, Bruce actually coached them in high school when they were playing high school just a couple of years ago. So
Just
they came straight out of high school to the Crunch.
Well, the guy who just took that shot came straight out of high school, Andy Schmetzer. God, Andy's only 29 years old. He's been playing professionally for 12 years. Kind of hard to believe he's not even 30 yet.
Yeah. Andy's definitely been around a long time, and his work ethic is incredible to this team, and he's definitely one of our most valuable players.
There's a battle for you there, and that time Ricky Greenwood, with the size on John Ball, was able to turn. Actually, Ball giving away about 40 pounds at least to Ricky Greenwood. And the strength of that man right there won that last battle. Troy DeSaski's called for a foul there. Right now it's a 2-0 game. Crunch ahead in the first quarter. Ricky Greenwood operates in the corners. Kia stepped in and swiped it off the foot, but his pass ahead picked up by Duff. Here come the Invaders. Paul Can along the near boards. Tanner ran him off the play momentarily. Double team help from Obi Moname. Here comes Tanner out of traffic. Tommy was a two-time All-ACC player at NC State. He's in a battle with Chris Duff. Oh, man, those guys went in hard. And it looked like
they were both off balance there, and both went into the boards very awkwardly. It's definitely a foul by Tommy right there when he grabbed him. Then they both tripped into the boards.
Looks like Duff had a face full of Ameritech over in there in the corner. Reach out and touch somebody.
Like I said, Tommy likes the physical play.
Look out, here's a chance. Jim Hesh ran into Tim Timu, got over and recorded the block. Now in a double team. Tim with a smart play. That's it.
There's the old veteran, drawing the foul.
So we're down to under 2 minutes. Tima, over 500 games. He's played in every season of the NPSL.
He looks like he's played over 500.
I didn't say that, Tim. Here is Neil Gilbert over the half line. 3v3 break, played at the hash one time. Backboards, nobody was making that trailing run for Columbus. Long ball from Orf to Gutierrez in the corner. Back to Tanner, he has some space. Rockets a shot wide. Tima back on it. Knotted it ahead. Tanner walked around Igil. Here he goes into the corner. Got knocked off. And Troy Desosky is there. Played a left footer ahead. It's over everybody's head.
I think the guys here are really having trouble with the size of the field. There's not much room for Henry to maneuver down in the corners and Tommy along the boards. There's really not much room for them to get going.
Nicky Vinovich. Got a pass to Henry Gutierrez. Oh, nice overlapping run. Troy Desosky on his way to go. Troy's left footer. It skipped up and out of play, and that'll give the Invaders a goal kick.
That was a bad miss hit that almost worked.
I meant to do that. Jim Adams will play it to the foot of Chris Duff, who is no worse for wear after his collision with the corner boards. Crunch called for a foul. It'll give the Invaders over and back. Give the Invaders a free kick at the yellow line. Left-footed shot by Willie Merrick. He got under that, knocked it out of play.
A lot of power on that shot. He just got under it a little bit too much.
It's a good look at Otto. Otto last year went 29-9 with a points against of 13.56. His 29 victories, number 2 in the league. His points against ranked him number 4.
Otto's now 33 years old, but I tell you what, he keeps getting better with age. Every year that he plays, he's having a better year each year.
Well, so far nobody's returned the ball. There we go. Somebody decided to bring it back into play. Yeah, he really has. I mean, he's got the perfect body for a goalkeeper, and he's...
I think the thing that people don't realize about Otto is that he never really got a chance to be a starting goalkeeper until he was 29 years old. So he's kind of young for a goalkeeper as far as years starting.
You know, he's played behind guys like Victor Noguera, BJ Johns. You're right, he just never had a chance to really get in and play every day. Here come the Crunch with just over 10 seconds to play in the quarter. A foul is called against Columbus. Andy Schmetzer drawing that foul. Boy, anytime Andy gets in their face now, you got to worry after shattering that cheekbone.
Yeah, wild elbow right there that caught Andy in the nose.
Restart. The Crunch have a goal. None for Columbus. Gutierrez on it. He'll pull the strings. Got it out high. Vinovich. Oh, it was blocked by the charging Moname, and Omeka is going to feel that one for a while.
That was a good job by Omeka getting out there quickly and blocking the shot.
You know, and we talked about the size of the field. One thing, it's going to allow you to be able to close those free kicks down more quickly, and the double teams in the corner are going to come more quickly as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I think the guys are having a little problem with the size of the field. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to.
There's the horn in the first quarter is history. A goal by Tommy Tanner at the 6:48 mark of the quarter is the only score on the sheet so far. We'll take a break and return for second quarter here from Columbus.
You dirty, rotten klutz. You stinking waste of time. Get in there, you...
Instead of calling names, call for brand names and get the right part the first time at Murray's Discount Auto Stores.
Get your car ready for winter with an Ever-Ready Power Connection heavy-duty battery. With a warranty of up to 75 months, free roadside assistance, and free replacement guarantee. Ever-Ready Power Connection automotive batteries, engineered to withstand extreme temperatures.
Murray's Discount Auto Stores. Super parts, super people, super prices.
We are not waiting for permission, for approval, for feedback. And we are most definitely not waiting for anyone to let us play. We are not waiting for anything except the ball. This is our time. This is our league.
They're the tools of the trade, treasures from the field, court, and rink. Autographed memorabilia and trading cards from the biggest names in sports, past, present, and future. And the best part is, they're all available for purchase, right from your home. I'm Mike Burkus. Join me and Doug Gold each week here on Sports Channel to pick up a piece of the game.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Nothing brings back warm holiday memories like the songs and carols you love. And only Time Life's Treasury of Christmas brings you all your favorite holiday songs in one collection.
Hark the herald angels sing.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Have a holly jolly Christmas.
You get cherished holiday songs like Bing Crosby's White Christmas.
Of a white Christmas.
Time Life's Treasury of Christmas on 2 cassettes, $19.99, or 2 CDs, $26.99. So call now and have yourself a Merry Christmas.
To order, call 1-800-652-4422 or send $19.99 for 2 cassettes or $26.99 for 2 CDs, plus $4 shipping to Treasury of Christmas, P.O. Box 20, Department T, Los Angeles, California.
Hey, if you haven't made plans for Sunday afternoon, there's the ticket. The Crunch at home, CSU Convocation Center against George Fernandez, former Crunch captain, and the Cincinnati Silverbacks. That guy will be there.
He'll be there.
So why don't you join us from the Convocation Center. 349-2090 for tickets. That's 216. Call the Crunch office and get in on all the fun of Crunch soccer as they look to make it back-to-back championships. They lead the Columbus Invaders in their first meeting of the season between these two sides. 2-0, a restart goal.
It was a pretty decent first quarter for the Crunch, you know, not as great as we expected, but, you know, we're on top 2-0, good defense. Otto really not been tested, everybody's playing well on the back.
Neil Gilbert walked around the charging Todd DeSasky. Played the boards, one touch here, pass, he scores!
I guess I jinxed him.
Good work off the kickoff. Gilbert got it along the boards to Igel. Igel played it one touch to charging Jim Hesh, who scores his third goal of the season.
Just as I said, you know, we were playing great defense. We started off the quarter by diving in at midfield and then having a 1-2 played on us in the back. And toe poke right in the far corner that Otto had nothing he could do on that.
10 seconds into the second quarter. The goal will go to Hesh.
I think as a coach, that's the thing that drives most coaches crazy, those goals in the last minute or the first minute of any quarter.
So each guy wearing a number 8 has scored a goal this evening. Tanner for the Crunch, Hesh for the Invaders. This is John Ball. Good work there, and he drew the foul as well. Crunch will restart in their own end. Andy Schmetzer was part of the U.S. 5-a-side indoor team. How many years ago was that? 1992 when they took a silver medal in Hong Kong?
Yeah, it was Andy and George Fernandez who was playing for us at the time that went representing the Crunch
And
representing the U.S.
And Fernandez is also going to these tryouts that are coming up this weekend as well. He might be leaving Cincinnati as a coach to go play.
I've never heard of it before, but
neither have I.
Anything's possible in the NPSL.
Anything. This is no Epstein. Oh, he did well to turn a bouncing ball with ball on his back. Otto will throw it long. Andy took it down. Worked out of traffic and was fouled. Called can.
Good work by Andy in the midfield. Control the ball and easy foul. And restart for the crunch.
Tia plays the boards and missed. Gutierrez got cleared out. They almost knocked it over the head of Jim Adams. He plays long. This is Emeka Moname, and open, and he scores!
Great first touch by Moname there. Just turned Glenn Carbonero and fired a shot, but a great first touch and a great throw by Jimmy Adams.
1:23 the time of the goal for Moname.
There it is. A great throw and a great first touch. And just cuts it back on Glenn and then nutmegs him on the shot.
Jim Adams will pick up an assist here.
Yeah, it was a great throw, springing Moname down the wing, and a great first touch.
With that goal, the Invaders take the lead, and we'll step out to return with more Crunch Soccer.
Follow the Crunch. Your independently owned and operated IGA supermarkets are proud to be the official food store of the world champion Cleveland Crunch. IGA Supermarkets, a part of hometowns like yours for 70 years, providing more quality, selection, and savings. Shop your hometown proud IGA. Save on your favorite brands every day. And follow the Crunch. At IGA, we're hometown proud.
Admittedly, there are some machines that are more powerful than MTD snow throwers. They're just not quite as practical. Nothing clears snow faster or for less money than MTD snow throwers. American made, American owned. Without one...
Honey, you okay?
It could be a long winter.
Well, that guy right there, Bruce Miller, I think had a few words of advice at the last
he didn't look
timeout.
very happy during that timeout and gave the boys an earful.
There's Troy Desaski. Boy, Troy's had a couple of chances overlapping in this game already.
I thought that was a great defensive play by the Columbus defender, but it looks like Troy hit it over.
You know, we saw or talked about Bruce blowing up just a bit. He doesn't do that too often, but when he does.
No, he's pretty mild-mannered, but, when things aren't going right and we're not doing the things we're supposed to be doing, he lets us know about it.
Here comes Gutierrez! He scores! What a touch by Henry Gutierrez. The Crunch have tied at 4.
Beautiful goal by Henry there. I think this whole play starts off by a bad throw by Jimmy Adams that Nicky Vinovich intercepted. He heads it up to Henry. Great first touch and just chips him. Clinical finish right there by Henry Gutierrez.
1:42 the time of the goal. Vinovich will get an assist. Well, I said the 2 number 8s have scored. The 2 number 10s have now scored. So we're doing this in pairs. 1:42. It came 19 seconds after the Invaders had taken the lead.
I guess Bruce's magic words work.
That's it. Nicky Vinovich now with 14 points on the season, and for Henry Gutierrez with a goal and assist, he has reached the 10-point mark. 95 points for Henry last season. The year before that, he was the Rookie of the Year with, I think he had like 114.
Henry's another one that keeps improving year and year. I think he's definitely going to be one of the great target players of this game.
You know, that's just amazing that you said that. A target player at 5'8", 150 pounds.
He plays a lot bigger than he is. He's great at shielding the ball and protecting the ball with his back to the goal.
There's Troy Desaski. One of the twins getting more floor time than he's seen in a while. Vinovich drilled one. Oh, baby! A 3-point goal from Nicky Vinovich, and the Crunch with a couple of quickies have gone up 7-4.
Great shot by Nicky. I think Jimmy Adams would like to have this one back. I think it goes between his legs here. Yeah, right through his legs. Great shot, though. A lot of velocity. Nice and low. Great strike.
Man, did he spank that. First three-point goal of the season for Nicky Vinovich. He's got 4 points tonight. 2:23 the time of the goal. So we've had a total of 4 goals scored in the first 2 minutes, 23 seconds of the quarter.
That's definitely what I expected when I saw the size of the field tonight. I thought it was going to be a wide open, high-scoring affair here tonight.
I was just looking at the roster, and Columbus doesn't have a number 20.
No.
so there won't be a
They won't be
matching
scoring
goal.
anymore tonight.
They won't have a matching goal to Vinovich. At least with a number 20, that is. This is Scott Spencer, 25-year-old from Memphis. Backliner. Played into big Noah Epstein. Pulls off the double team. There's a shot wide after it is Ben Powers. He had it skip off of his right peg. Paul Can nipped in momentarily. Andy Schmetzer with a road block. And he got called for the foul. Andy would be doing well protected for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, a little obstruction there, getting the hands up in the guy's chest.
Played into the targeting Epstein. Some composure from Todd Jasowski, and then Glenn got it back to his keeper. Otto slid it to John Ball. He had trouble with the first touch and recovered nicely because Otto was in no man's land. Had an invader gotten to that ball. Ball can't. Played it ahead. Otto off of his line, beat Moname there. This is Epstein. Glenn knocked it down. This is Kia. Kia played along the near boards. A race for it now. Todd Jasowski stepped in and won it away from Spencer. He'll turn it back along the boards. Look for some help. Found it in Tim Tima. Schmetzer shows Crunch will possess here a bit. Knocked to Kia. Took it off the chest. Holds off a mark momentarily. Ball stepped in, walked around one invader, but not the second. And Adams will snatch it up.
Good try by John Ball there. Pushing forward, looking to score a goal. He scored his first goal, I think, last week in Baltimore. And I heard it was a cracker of a goal. Upper 90, volley. Not bad for your first professional goal.
That'll do any time. Vinovich headed it to Todd Jasowski, or Troy Jasowski, I'm sorry. Here comes Ricky Greenwood. He scored! A 3-point goal for Ricky Greenwood, so we're matching goals. It wasn't a number 20, but he cracked that, and we're tied at 7.
Yeah, great strength by this Ricky Greenwood here. He's a big boy, and I tell you what, he's got a hell of a shot, too. There it is. Yep, definitely a 3-pointer. Great shot, upper 90, right over Otto's left shoulder.
4:32, the time of the goal for Ricky Greenwood.
Again, great shot.
And here come the Invaders off the kickoff. Troy Jasowski. Tanner along the boards. He ran into Neil Gilbert, and that's never an enjoyable thing.
It might be for Tommy.
Gutierrez. Troy Jasowski, left pegger, blocked on the way and cleared to the midfield. The race for the ball. The ledge.
Great work by the ledge to beat everybody there.
Gilbert and Tanner. Stepping over the ball a few times. This is Igels. His left-footed shot is blocked. And the Crunch try to break out. Good recovery by the Invaders. They had all 5 guys get back. And Adams wound up with the ball.
Great work by the Columbus defense. Like you said, getting numbers behind the ball, getting everybody back.
That Greenwood goal was unassisted.
That was a great chance by Tommy there if he could have nicked that ball. We had a 2-0.
Hesh was unaware of his surroundings there. He chested the ball and crossed, and he had plenty of time to take it down and turn. There wasn't a Crunch defender around him. Here comes Cleveland. Ball played into the arms of Jim Adams.
Good idea by Tommy there. He's looking for the nutmeg toe poke to far post to Kia sitting at the far post.
Otto will go high, snags it off the noggin of Epstein, and then threw the ball past Tim Tima. There to get it is Mika Moname. Ben Powers. Epstein. I think he was in Mr. Cotter's class back in the 70s. And headed out of play by Paul Can. 8:40 to go, second quarter. We're in a 7-all tie. A good look at Paul Kent.
He played for Canton last year or the year before. A great little skillful midfielder. Very good on the ball. Loves to take players on in the midfield and likes to create. A very skillful player for Columbus.
Well, you know, we've talked about it a lot, but I think if you're going to have a team in this building, you better have guys that work well in traffic.
Yeah, definitely. You got to have ball control in this building here, but like we said, there's not much room to work here.
Over and back called against Columbus. For those of you new to the game, you cannot bring the ball over the yellow line and back into your own third of the field. When you do that, you are whistled for over and back and gives the other team a free kick from the yellow line.
I think referee Steve Sion was not happy with Todd saying a few words to him.
He told him to tuck his shirt in. He was looking shabby. Look out, Nicky's got a big right foot this time. Adams.
Good save by Jimmy there, just getting a piece of it, knocking it off to the side.
Boy, when Vinjevic unleashes those long legs, that ball just rockets.
Yeah, he's got a great shot. Loves to shoot, too.
Don't they all? Don't all forwards? And you hate it, don't you?
I still haven't met a shot at it I didn't like.
This is John Ball. Give it go with Vinjevic. Ball with a strong move to win it. Here he comes. Oh, he played it to Todd. A trailing Andy Spencer got kicked out by Jim Adams. Some nice ball movement from the crunch on that sequence.
A great overlapping runs by John Ball, pushing the ball forward.
Paul Can through the center circle. He slowed up play, and now he comes forward again. Head faking and shoots just over the crossbar. There we saw how lively the glass over the bar is. Gilbert has an opening. Let's see what he does. He waited for the mark to get there. That shot just hit the juncture, the bar and the post. Wow.
Great move by Gilbert, taking it inside and having a shot. I think it just hit the upper V and the red post up top.
There was something on the field that the Crunch players wanted to get out, and then it gets knocked out of play. That'll give the Crunch the ball along the near boards. We're at Patel Hall at Pacific along with Hector Marinaro. Hector joining us on our second Sports Channel broadcast.
I'm Nicky again. Oh, he didn't like that shot. First time he didn't like it.
Marinaro. Over and back is Nick Eidzel got a piece of it. You know, that used to be a discretionary call by the officials, whether it was intentional or not. Now anytime the ball goes over, last touch, whether it was a deflection or not. Look out, how'd you like to be standing in the wall here as Vinjevic comes forward? Drilled it again off the wall. Not such a pleasant thing. Over and back again, and once again, Nicky will have another chance.
I know that when Zian and I take a few of those, a couple times we'll try to hit the wall just to
soften it up.
Make them flinch next time, you know.
Tried to slide it through that time.
Oh, that's the corner. That could have been easily a 2-minute penalty. Just as Andy was about to shoot, the defender clipped him from behind.
Andy's having a few words for Ricky Greenwood, a couple of guys from Seattle there.
There it is. Andy's just about to shoot, and the guy clipped him right from behind. Oh,
I think that was Neil Gilbert.
Yeah, that could have easily been a 2-minute penalty.
Punch with a restart. Gutierrez, Vinjevic scored! Nicky Vinjevic's second goal of the game. He has scored at least 2 in each of the previous 2 Crunch games, and it puts the Crunch ahead at 9-7.
I think you notice about Nicky is that he's great with both feet. I think, you know, the three-pointer was with his right foot, and this one was his left foot. He doesn't favor either foot. He likes either one. Wherever the ball comes to, he's ready to hit it. And great finish right there.
Henry Gutierrez picks up his second assist of the game. He had 33 last season. 8:16 the time of the goal. And I think one Hector Marinaro is going to have some catching up to do when he gets back in uniform. Nicky Vinjevic with 6 points tonight gives him 19. So he's averaged over 6 points a game.
Yeah, like we said in the beginning, this kid's got a lot of talent. And the scary thing, he's just learning this game.
and the thing that strikes me about him is his facial, he looks so composed. I mean, like, yeah, there's nothing to this game, guys.
You'd be very surprised. He's a very funny young man. Doesn't say very much. He's very, very quiet. But when he does say something, it's usually something funny.
Gutierrez tried to volley. Crunch with the 9-7 lead. They led 2-0, 7-4, and now 9-7. Jim Hesh, he has one of the Invader goals. Tanner stopped that little move, and Gilbert stopped that one forward. His target pass missed Greenwood, and Tima knocked it into the seats. This will be similar to a corner kick.
The Ledge was looking for the taller boards at CSU there. He's trying to hit it off the boards and clear it out of danger. Unfortunately, he just got under it a little bit too much and knocked it out of bounds.
Tima and Ricky Greenwood had a little bit of a scuffle in a preseason game at the Crunch.
Not Tima.
No.
Come on.
They play out high. The left-footed shot from Willie Merrick is mishit, but it was last touched by a guy in a Fila jersey.
Tommy. That's the way they'd announce them in Rochester. Every time we saw him, we'd make fun of them.
Waiting for the whistle here, and so they'll do it again. The Crunch doesn't like the fact that the Invaders will get another whack at this. Paul Can. He drilled it. Oh, it hit Tima in front. Another block for Tim Tima. Had he not been there, that's a goal. That one is out of here. Touch the ball, Jim Adams. Heavy touch.
Came very close to touching the roof in this place. That one.
Otto will put it back in play.
Another great block by the Ledge, the all-time leader in that category, I think.
Yes, he is.
Add one more up to him.
He's blocked his share of shots. Look at how strong Vinjevic is.
It's tremendous skill.
And whacked one out of play. Goal kick for Columbus. You know, looking at Vinjevic, he reminds me body size of Steve Kuntz from St. Louis. I mean, those long legs, and you would think a guy with that body type wouldn't be real successful indoor.
Yeah, Nicky's got tremendous skill. And I think he's a little bit shorter than Kuntz from St. Louis, but just tremendous skill. And like I said, great shot with either foot.
It's off the head of the Ledge, and that'll give the Invaders a free kick inside.
The Ledge is definitely not happy with the short glass in this play. Yeah, CSU, that would have went right to Otto, and it would have been a great play by Steve.
Exactly. Willie Merrick drilled one. It's free in front of goal. A shot by Hesh missed wide, and the ball's still free. Otto able to snag it.
Great pickup by Otto off the glass there to kill the pressure.
They'll throw it long. Sasaki got some good position, was run over. Play goes on. Carbonera played back to Todd. Left footer, he hit it hard. And it got blocked out of the way. Ball stepped in, he paid the price, but the Crunch carries on. Schmetzer on his way to goal. Todd Sasaki, ball free. And Columbus able to whack it aside. This is Obi Moname. His brother Emeka scored a goal for Columbus early on. And a foul called in the midfield. John Ball coming forward. A lot of youth on the floor for the Cleveland Crunch at this point, with John Ball, Todd Dusowski, and Obi Moname.
Take a look, Crunch fans. That's the future of the Crunch. A lot of great young talent on this team.
Andy Schmetzer along the far boards. Glenn Carbonera. Otto. Right puts it ahead. Nice play by Dusowski to Obi Moname. He's in traffic. Got it back to Todd. Here he comes on the boards. It came through to the far side. Nobody there. And a green jersey to tap it home. Here comes a break. Noah Epstein. He got run off the ball by a pair of Crunch defenders, Carbonera and Ball. John working hard to get that under control. Otto will go long. Gutierrez, who it was read by the defender Chris Duff.
I think this is more of what we expected. End-to-end, lots of action at both ends here. The game has definitely picked up after the first quarter.
Columbus in their 19-15 loss to Wichita actually had to make a big comeback to make the game close. Chris Duck has had a rough go in this game. He ran into the boards early on. Another shot to the face. And that 24-year-old from North Olmsted is going to be using the ice bags.
That's the second time.
All right, Chris, shake that off. We're going to step aside and return. The Crunch with a 9-7 lead on the Invaders.
Out here at the Pioneer Conference Championship game in Brunswick, Ohio, but I'm surrounded by all these Cleveland Crunch fans.
First time for the Crunch on Sports Channel!
The Big Ten football race should be one of the most competitive in years in '96, and the Wolverines of Michigan will be right in the middle of it. Don't miss a minute of the action. Watch Michigan Replay each and every week with Michigan head coach Lloyd Carr. You'll get the inside story from the coach himself with game highlights, features, and scouting reports. Michigan Replay, the only show with the inside information on Wolverine football. Don't miss it each and every week this fall.
For the inside story on Michigan football, watch Michigan Replay.
Well, welcome back to Columbus. Later stages of the first half. It's been a seesaw affair. Crunch led 2-0. They trailed Wahlert 4-2. Took a 7-4 lead. And now are ahead 9-7 after being tied at 7. Haven't seen a penalty yet in this game. Jim Hesh has one of the Invader goals. Oh, there's a bad play by Willie Merrick. And the Crunch come on 3v3. They play to Carbonera. He got a foot in, but knocked it out of play.
Great ball by Henry there. Played off the boards into Glenn's path. Glenn just knocking it over the boards on a shot.
One thing that I'm noticing a lot in this game, our Crunch defenders are really doing more overlapping into the attack than I've seen in a while. And, you know, Troy Dosowski has been forward a couple of times. We saw Carbonera there.
I think you're going to see that in the smaller building because, like I said, there's no room for the forwards to work up front, so you need the defenders making runs, opening up space.
And the recovery run isn't as painful. Ricky Greenwood played to space. Igel strong to the ball. Couldn't control it, however. Spinjevic, 5-6 points tonight for Nicky. Look at that move. Lost it on his way, but Otto is trailing the play, and will collect at the yellow line. Played it ahead, Gutierrez. Zigs to the corner, fakes it. Shot it off the boards just wide. Looked like he might have had Adams beaten on the short side.
Great work by Henry, keeping the ball in some close range there.
Ricky Greenwood taken down from behind by Glenn Carbonera, and Ricky looking for a 2-minute penalty.
Almost a great tackle by Glenn. He had the ball, but he just lost it at the very last minute.
Greenwood's goal in this game, his first of the season. 23-year-old. This is Willie Merritt. Into the corner. Ooh. Greenwood just ran over John Ball.
I don't think there can be much complaining about that one.
Hey, John, did you get the license plate of that truck? Bad pass from Gutierrez, and fortunately, Hesh couldn't control it.
Bad first touch by Hesh there. They could have been easily 2 on Otto.
2v3 for the Crunch. Late help from Tima. An opening for Gutierrez. He scores! Henry Gutierrez with a left-footed banger. It's 11-7 Crunch.
Great work by Henry. Great one-on-one move. Took the guy to his left and just hammered a left-footed shot off the post. Great shot. Great finish.
Henry's second goal of the game. It's unassisted. He's got a pair of goals, a pair of assists. Give him 6 points for the night.
He just takes it over to his left foot and just hammers it on the volley there. Off the post of it. Great shot.
Actually, at an assist, Tommy Tanner will get an assist.
And there's the Henry complaining. Scores a goal and then complain about it.
I thought you're supposed to be happy after that. That's not a normal reaction after a goal. Wasn't Henry the guy who gave the ball away here?
Yeah.
In the back, and that could have been the discussion.
I think he was upset with Otto giving him the ball in that spot, but it all worked out for the better.
Under a minute to go in the first half. The Crunch has scored the last 4 points and a lead at 11-7. Gutierrez and Vinjevic have been the guys with the most marks on the score sheet this evening. Composure from Troy Dusowski to his brother Todd. Timo with a first to the ball.
Great anticipation by the ledge there.
Guys whacking away all over the place. Finally, it wound up on the peg of Noah Epstein. Good tackle from Troy.
Great tackle by Troy.
Now battle along the boards. Oh, we're getting some bumping and cruising happening out there.
There's Mr. Coffee, of course. Andy Spencer.
The Java
connection. Now open near you.
Everybody thought that Joe DiMaggio was Mr. Coffee.
In Cleveland, it's Andy Spencer. Of course, we're at Beechwood Mall.
Aren't you supposed to be holding? Oh, look at that! As the horn goes out, we're done with the first half, but a dangerous play from Scott Spencer. Almost got the Crunch another goal.
Great throw by Otto. Almost put it in by himself.
And he plays for Columbus. There's a look at some Crunch boosters here.
The Crunch Booster Club.
In Columbus. And the Crunch with the last 4 points of the first half, lead 11-7. We've got to talk with the Crunch head coach on the way.
If you don't have News Sport, the 24-hour sports news channel, call your local cable operator today.
You don't have to be a pro athlete to need sports medicine and rehab. Sure, a lot of the people you see in the Peak at Marymount make their living on the playing field, but a lot of them don't. They're firemen and architects and moms too, and they all have the same thing in common. They need to get back on the job. For professional sports medicine and rehab, call the Peak at 663-0080 and get back into action. Sports Medicine Center of the Cleveland Crunch and Lumberjacks.
What's so great about real work experience before you graduate college? I'll show you.
Gee, sir, I don't have experience like that. But I did get an A in basket weaving.
Me, sir? I have experience. Thanks to my externship, I'm ready to work. Let me show you my portfolio. Real work experience is what they're looking for. Get it at Bryant and Stratton.
Right here, this is no big deal. Neither is this. This is what we call a big deal. Arby's $5 value roundup. Like the tangy goodness of beef and cheddar. Get 3 for $5. Prefer the slow-roasted flavor of regular roast beef? Get 4 for $5. Rather enjoy the authentic taste of the barbecue? Get 5 for $5. Your choice during Arby's $5 value roundup. So hurry in for a deal you can't beat. You'll taste why it's better out here. Arby's $5 value roundup.
At the back stick, here comes Lofton. Orf with the stop, the ball free. Oh, blocked by Marinaro. Hector shoots the goal.
The Crunch are tied again! The Crunch are tied again!
But here we go.
The Crunch have won the game! The Crunch have won the game! The Crunch are the NPSL champions! The Crunch are the
Before we get into this season, let's look back on last year, a championship. What are your memories and thoughts of that championship season in your first year?
It was overwhelming. You know, we started great right from the beginning, and you know, got off to a 22-2 start. And you know, whenever we had injuries or anything, the young guys came in and played real well. And you know, it was a great season. And then to go into the playoffs and have a little bit of a scare in the first round with Buffalo, and that last night when we came back from being down 12-3, it just was something I'll never forget as long as I live. It was great.
You know, I'm kind of curious as to what your take was going into the season, coming into a team with this much talent, and what you thought you were going to get and what you got. Did it kind of mesh?
Yeah, I didn't think there was any surprises. You know, I knew Hector from when I was at Minnesota with him, and you know, I think I'm smart enough to realize that coaches don't win games. You know, you can maybe help a little bit, but the bottom line is you have to have talent. So, you know, Cleveland had a good team. 2 years before I got there, they won the championship, and then the year before they had a great season. So, you know, I'd rather go into that situation than try to build a franchise from nothing. So, you know, for a new coach to come in, I was in a good position.
Let's talk about this year's team. It's basically the nucleus is back. You got your big guns, but there are some new players. Why don't you fill the fans in on the new guys to watch?
Well, there's a couple of players we've got that are new this year. You've got Nicky Vinjevic, first of all. He's a Yugoslavian player who, you know, he's leading our team in scoring right now, although Zoran and Hector haven't played both games. And he's a great player. He's got good skill with the ball at his feet, and he's still learning the game. Though he's got a ways to go yet. But I think you know, we have high expectations for him, and with a little bit of time, I think he's going to be an outstanding player. Another new player for us is Nicky Ristic, who's a defender, 32-year-old player from Yugoslavia, and unfortunately for us, he got hurt last week, and he's going under arthroscopic surgery on Monday morning, and he's probably going to be out 6 weeks or so, and he's a good player. And then Obi Menemi is another new player we've got, and he's showing some great skill in midfield, and he's good on the ball, and he added a spark to us last weekend in Baltimore. The other addition, I'm doing this off the top of my head, it's a little tough, but Kia is here now, and anybody who's familiar with indoor soccer in the United States knows the name of Kia. He's one of the all-time leading scorers, and he's going to offer us a lot of help coming off the bench. And then the final new player, I believe, I hope I haven't missed anybody out, but the final new player is Rob Marinaro, and Robbie's a goalkeeper, Hector's brother, and he's going to offer us a lot of help. If Otto ends up going away with the national team, we're going to miss him for 6 games, and it's going to fall on Robbie's shoulders, and we're real comfortable with him.
Well, Coach, it seems like with the new players and the old, you got a good mix. It's going to be your challenge to fill them in throughout the season and hopefully another championship. Thanks for spending some time.
Thanks, Eddie.
All right, that's Bruce Miller. We'll be back with more Crunch Soccer right after a break.
If you or someone close has been a victim of negligence in the hospital, you have a call to make.
My wife was seriously hurt in surgery, and all I could do was pray.
Maybe you don't know your rights. Don't just call a lawyer. Call a firm.
They said it was the anesthesia. Maybe it was them.
Nürnberg Pleven has represented over 60,000 personal injury victims since 1929.
If I didn't make that call, she'd still be a victim.
Nürnberg Pleven, because you won't get justice by accident.
That was then. This is now, the MAC Now. The MAC Now is a weekly show that highlights the teams, players, and coaches in the Mid-American Conference, both on and off the field. From Eastern to Western, Miami to Kent, the MAC Now provides your weekly fix of Mid-American Conference action. The MAC Now of these stations. So come on, get with the program. Check out the MAC Now.
I'll be home for Christmas.
Time Life announces a fun-filled music collection for your holidays. The Spirit of Christmas. 50 great songs by your favorite artists. Like Aretha Franklin, Kenny Rogers,
Child of Bethlehem. Just hear those sleigh bells.
Johnny Mathis,
Ting-ting-a-ling too. We three kings.
Neil Diamond, and Nat King Cole.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
More than 2 hours of classic Christmas songs on 2 double-length cassettes for $19.99 or 2 compact discs for $26.99. Here's how to order.
To order Spirit of Christmas, call 1-888-203-5000 or send $19.99 for 2 cassettes or $26.99 for 2 compact discs, plus $4 shipping and handling to Spirit of Christmas, Department 4, Richmond, Virginia 23280.
Welcome back to the MTD for a Growing Soccer World Report. Today with us is former Cleveland Forest player George Nanshoff. George is the head of the International Soccer Club. And George, why don't you tell us a little bit about the guys and the girls that play soccer for you and your club?
Right now we have 20 teams, 10 boys and 10 girls teams, starting ages U10 all the way up to U19.
Now, where are you guys located at?
Greater Cleveland, Akron area.
And how would somebody go about getting involved with you guys?
Well, we have 3 tryouts during the course of the year, and we have 1 outdoor and 2 indoor tryouts, and the tryouts are posted either in the newspaper or to the local media, and kids are coming out in those tryouts.
Now, you guys have done a lot of traveling with these groups. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? It's not just playing in the area.
The club had traveled all over the United States, and also we had traveled in the last 3 years in Europe, in Austria, Sweden, and Denmark.
Now, you guys did very well on these foreign trips, didn't you?
The biggest accomplishment up to now was winning the Dana Cup. Our U16 and a U12 boys had won it, and that was the first time ever that American team had won it in the last 15 years. I'm talking on the boys' side. And that was quite a bit of accomplishment, for the kids.
George, you've been around the game for a long time. Can you give us an idea of how the level of talent has grown on the youth level?
The youth level in the last I would say about 5 years, it's been unbelievable. And you could see that all through the high school, and you could see it all through the club teams, and it's improved tremendously. And then the talent, it's kind of evening out all over the places, so you don't have like one high school team kind of dominate everybody, but right now you see a lot of the high school teams in Division 1, 2, or 3 are equal.
All right, George, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Eddie.
That's George Nanshoff of the International Soccer Club. We'll be back with more soccer action right after this break here on Sports Channel.
Mom, you gotta get me out of here. This is not a nice place. Picking up bad habits, Mom. They're making me do bad things. When you blood out of my face. They're even trying to change the way I look. It can't get any worse than this. I said you got the wrong number, chump. Oh, Granty. Meet George, your new personal trainer. Nice to meet you. Not nice. Not nice. That's right. Not nice.
Follow the crunch. Your independently owned and operated IGA supermarkets are proud to be the official food store of the world champion Cleveland Crunch. IGA Supermarkets, a part of hometowns like yours for 70 years, providing more quality, selection, and savings. Shop your hometown proud IGA. Save on your favorite brands every day. And follow the crunch. At IGA, we're hometown proud.
Admittedly, there are some machines that are more powerful than MTD snow throwers. They're just not quite as practical. Nothing clears snow faster or for less money than MTD snow throwers. American made, American owned. Without one...
Honey, you okay?
It could be a long winter.
In the new business world, change is not to be feared. It's to be expected. Forget about job security. Now you have to deal with downsizing, evolving technology. How do you get ready? Critical workplace skills to keep you employable for life. The real work experience employers expect before you graduate. Advanced technology and dynamic instructors to empower you. Where do you get it? Bryant and Stratton.
At the back stick, here comes Lofton. Orf with the stop, the ball free. Oh, blocked by Marinaro. Hector shoots the goal. They're quantified again. They're quantified again.
But here we go.
The Crunch have won the game. The Crunch have won the game. The Crunch are the NPSL champions. The Crunch are the... Welcome back to Columbus. Still halftime here where the Crunch has an 11-7 lead on the Columbus Invaders. And Hector, has kind of been a feeling out first half a bit.
Yeah, I think the first quarter it was definitely the size of the field that was hurting the Crunch, and we had a little getting used to the small size of the field, but the second quarter, I think we really got it going.
Well, let's take a look at some of the goals. Got some beauties, and it was started off by a corner kick from Henry Gutierrez and Tommy Tanner.
Yeah, here it is. Henry just toe pokes it right through the middle. Tanner gets a foot on it, puts it in the back of the net.
That made it 2-0 Crunch. Then the Invaders come back.
Yeah, that was a toe poke far post. A great 1-2 by the Columbus players. Jim Hesh and the toe poke in the far post.
Tied things at 2. Now here's a sweet goal.
Yeah, Jimmy Adams with a great outlet pass to Moname, and Moname just turned and shot. Here's Henry Gutierrez with a great finish, just chipped over the goalkeeper.
They made it 4-4. And then the Crunch, watch this one. From Ricky Greenwood.
Oh, Ricky Greenwood. Great shot. Great three-pointer. Here's Henry again. Great left foot off the goal post and in.
That put the Crunch up 2 at 9-7.
Great work.
And that was our first half as the Crunch own an 11-7 lead. We'll be back for the second half and more Crunch Soccer here on Sports Channel after this.
Right here, this is no big deal. Neither is this. This is what we call a big deal. Arby's $5 value roundup. Like the tangy goodness of beef and cheddar. Get 3 for $5. Prefer the slow roasted flavor of regular roast beef? Get 4 for $5. Rather enjoy the authentic taste of the barbecue? Get 5 for $5. Your choice during Arby's $5 value roundup. So hurry in for a deal you can't beat. You'll taste why it's better out here. Arby's $5 value roundup.
Admittedly, there are some machines that are more powerful than MTD snow throwers. They're just not quite as practical. Nothing clears snow faster or for less money than MTD snow throwers. American made, American owned. Without one...
Honey, you okay?
It could be a long winter.
Open at the back stick. Here comes Lofton. Orf with the stop. The ball free. Oh, blocked by Marinaro. Hector shoots the goal.
The Crunch are tied again. The Crunch are tied again.
But here we go.
The Crunch have won the game. The Crunch have won the game. The Crunch are the NPSL champions. The Crunch are the
There's a score, 11-7 Crunch, but there were other numbers as well from the first half, and let's take a look at those. Told you they were coming.
The great work, like I said before, by the first line tonight. I think they've got all 5 of our goals. Henry with 2, Nicky with 2, and Tommy with 1. The great work by our first line tonight.
Blocks 8-5 in the Crunch favor. The defense doing well. And the Crunch has scored 3 goals off of restarts, which they have been known to do. It's showtime again. Second half action. Dangerous play by Neil Gilbert. We have a goalkeeper change. Chuck Martini is in the goal, replacing Jim Adams.
Jimmy hasn't come back out. He's not on the bench.
Ah, there he is. He just came out now, and Chuck Martini from London is now in goal.
I think he's a newcomer to the indoor game. Hasn't played very much indoor.
So Jim Adams, as of right now, is through for the night, but you never know what might be happening as this game progresses. You know, if the goalkeeper gets a penalty, he has to serve it. Gutierrez, 6 points tonight, pair of goals. Here he comes, Andy Spencer, he scored! Andy Spencer gets on the score sheet, a deflection. The first shot that Chuck Martini saw, he's picking out of the back of the net.
That was unlucky for Chuck Martini. He bounced off one of his defenders. A good shot by Andy, but I think it's going to deflect off their defender. Yeah, number 25 there puts it right past Martini. Nothing he could do on that one. Not the way you want to come into a game.
No, not at all. It comes 17 seconds into the quarter. Andy Schmetzer with his second goal of the season, and give Henry Gutierrez his third assist of the night. Zorn who? Hector who?
That's a new duo.
I think
Mickey and Henry.
Yeah, I think we might be seeing Zorn doing interviews in the stands pretty soon.
He might have a regular job up here.
Crunch has played well. Gutierrez shining, as well as Vinovich. Andy Schmetzer getting on the score sheet there.
There you see the size of the field coming into play, and also the size of the glass. It's pretty much simple chip into the corner that just flew over the short glass here.
Vinovich will line it up again. Man, can he give that ball a good hard kick. Into the corner. Ricky Greenwood. Hold is called against Tommy Tanner.
Good call by the ref there. Just had a nice tug of his shirt there.
Tanner checks in at 150 pounds. Greenwood at 190.
That's when he was in college. 50 pounds.
Through the box, it gets deflected. Greenwood skylabbed. Oh, he had a wide open goal. And now a push from Greenwood to Troy Dosowski. There's another look.
Great opportunity. Really should have finished that one.
Man, he really didn't even have to hit the ball that hard. The goal was wide open on the far side.
Just get it on target, I think it's a goal.
Then he got in a little shoving match with Troy Dosowski. Ball into the corner. Gutierrez holds off a pair, gives some ground. Vinovich over to Tima. A lot of space there. Checking to the ball, Tanner. Tan is on him. Tanner holds it off. And the Crunch possess. This is the biggest lead of the game for either team at 6 points. Here comes Noah Epstein. He got a weak left foot at goal, and Otto slapped it down. We'll play to a racing Tanner. He's in the corner to get it. Spins, turns, shoots. Kicked out by Martini.
Great outlet by Otto there, and a great turn by Tommy to get the shot. Little, not as hard as he would have liked to hit it with his left foot there.
Sometimes that off-speed shot does wonders, though.
Oh.
Skipped on by everybody. Martini will play it long. Tested back to Epstein. Ball went for the tackle. Epstein tries to turn him. Ball is there step for step. Now double team help from Todd. Strong work by John Ball, and he drew the foul.
John Ball definitely plays a lot bigger than he is. He's a skinny kid, doesn't weigh very much, but plays very strong in the back.
5'8", 145 pounds. Just celebrated his 24th birthday 3 days ago. John Ball. Andy Schmetzer comes barreling forward. Drew another foul.
Great run by Andy there. Drew the foul. Defender had no choice.
Gutierrez will put it in play and hit the wall and comes up to the near side.
Crunch only had 4 players out there for the restart, so there wasn't not many options there for Henry.
So this is really an adjustment period for the Crunch. I mean, restarts are always Zorn and Hector, and I would imagine there's some scrambling around on the bench figuring out who's going to be where.
I think when Zorn and I play, we're usually the two that come off the bench, and now that both of us are playing, it's Nicky and Henry. If the second line is on, then Nicky and Henry will be coming on for the free throw.
Andy Schmetzer, good work. John Ball couldn't control that. It's out of play. Crunch coming off of a 14-8 victory over Baltimore in Baltimore last week, and actually, it was an 8-8 game with just over a minute left when Nicky Vinovich broke the 8-all tie, and then the Crunch, actually Vinovich was able to score 2 more times against Baltimore's 6th attacker. Here's Nick Igel. He played it off the back glass. Ball was in good position. Otto scooped it up. He's going to try to throw it in. He scored!
Otto! He said he was going to score a goal today. He said he was going to kick it in, but he threw it in. Great stuff by Otto.
Well, Hector told you that Chuck Martini is new to the indoor game.
He definitely doesn't know Otto, but Otto loves this. The goalie up at his own yellow line, and Otto saw it in the arm he's got.
Wow.
Great stuff by Otto Orf.
That's 3 points. No, actually it's 2 points because it came from his own half of the field. Yeah. 2-point goal, so Otto will get on the score sheet. It comes at the 3:14 mark of the third quarter. Otto's looking for 3. No, sorry.
Sorry, Otto.
3:14.
That was his fastball. That's back from his college days of pitching.
Oh, there's a bullet from Moname. And Martini slapped it aside. What a baptism he's getting. Has he made a save yet? I don't think so. There we go. Ball with space. Here's John Bull. He didn't get the shot off in time and got run over by Ricky Greenwood, and there's a few words.
Columbus really starting to slack defensively, letting our players run. Way too much space for our players here.
Gutierrez on it again. Across, Todd Dusoski, the bouncing ball, he got under.
Todd definitely should have done better with that. It was wide open, clear shot on goal.
Columbus Invaders looking for a timeout as the ball leaves the field of play. 15-7 lead for the Crunch.
Hi everybody, I'm Les Levine sitting on the set of More Sports Channel and Les Levine, and you can be the first one on your block to purchase a How Come Quickie t-shirt, How Come Quickie sweatshirt, or the How Come Quickie More Sports Channel and Les Levine mug. Mugs are $12, t-shirts $19, and sweatshirts $29, plus shipping and tax. And you can order them right now, 1-800-391-4976, 1-800-391-4976. Supplies are limited, so call right now.
Catch all the excitement of the Cleveland Browns each week on Sports Channel with me, Gerald McNeil.
Also known as the Ice Cube, and with me, Bill Futterer, Browns president. We'll look at the 1964 championship, the Paul Brown era, and those cardiac kids.
Long, deep and out,
Cleveland
Bill.
Browns countdown to 99. Catch it this Wednesday at 6:30 on Sports Channel.
Oh yeah, they tired me out now.
Ice Cube. Not that rapper, are you?
Because you don't see it that often.
Here's Otto. That's the fastball going downtown. Right, look at the goalie. That's beautiful.
Look at Martini turning and looking. It's a lonesome feeling for a goalkeeper. You got to know when you see a ball go over your head anytime, but that was thrown by the opposite keeper. It's a free kick for Columbus. Finally they get the whistle. Ricky Greenwood never got a shot off.
Great stuff by Troy there.
Here comes Neil Gilbert, backheel pass. Gutierrez stepped in. He holds off Hesh. I think Hector was on the mark when he said that, you know, Columbus is kind of getting a little sloppy, and as the Crunch get their hooks into this game.
Yeah, I think, you know, they're starting to give us way too much room. I think they're trying to go forward, trying to push a little too much. They had a close game going at 9-7, and now it's kind of gotten out of hand for them. And it's just simple. They're just pushing up too much and leaving us way too much room.
Gilbert heads it down. Hesh on it. Heidel making an overlapping run. Over and back against the Crunch. Tanner doesn't like the call. And they're going to give Columbus, I believe, a free kick, although I thought I saw Steve Siomos waving it off.
I thought that was a good call by the official, but Steve's overriding and making it a drop ball.
Nice work there. Here comes Willie Merrick, the left footer. He hit a bullet and missed wide. Heidel on the rebound. That's Steve Cook getting it. Has for the volley out of the stop. Oh, baby, Otto Orf with a big stop on the volley from Hesh.
There's the ledge getting into it, Gilbert. Just obstructed him into the board.
Let's take another look.
The ball gets behind Otto. That should have been finished right there, but then Otto comes up with a great save down low with his right arm.
John Ball, Gutierrez. Left it for an overlapping Tim Tima. Back to Gutierrez. We're under 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. Crunch up by 8 at 15-7. This game was tied at 7. Here comes Tim Tima. He should have shot it. He tried a backhill pass.
The led's getting fancy. It's a great ball by Henry. Played it off the board, still right his path. He really should have taken the shot. Being the unselfish player that he is, he's looking to pass the ball.
Good work for the Invaders, keeping possession in their own end. As I said, this game was tied at 7. The Crunch has scored the last 8 points. 4 at the end of the second quarter, 4 more here in the third quarter. Nice ball by Gutierrez. Ball on the overlap. Moname in the corner. He turns the face, couple zigs, couple zags. Here comes Ball. He had trouble with the first touch. Epstein comes away. Play the space. Paul can. So Emeka Moname, and a foul called against Columbus.
Great work by John Ball there, beating Moname to the ball and making Moname follow.
A reminder, your next chance to see the Crunch this Sunday at the Convocation Center. 3 o'clock start when they take on the Cincinnati Silverbacks. Call 349-2090 for ticket information. Over and back against Columbus. The Crunch with another restart at the yellow line. Look out, boys.
Go ahead, Nicky. Have a shot.
Slid it in. It got deflected, and Martinez stayed with it.
He was looking for Todd there at the far post. Good idea.
Good work by Carbonera. The Crunch will be charged with an over and back, but Glenn could have pulled a muscle on that one.
Yeah, the defender, forward got behind Glenn. Great work just to touch it. We'd rather have the restart there than the ball in the back of our net.
Willie Merrick's left foot. He stuck it under the bleachers. Well, from what I've seen of 27-year-old Willie Merrick, he's got a strong left foot. Doesn't have much control over it, though.
Yeah, he definitely favors it. The last time he had one down the right side, he should have taken with his right foot. He favored his left foot and hit it a bit off target.
A foul of John Ball. He just scissored it wide. Ball came crashing through the penalty area after Todd Dosowski had played the backcourt. Otto with a 2-point goal tonight on the throw. Martini, his arm isn't quite as strong. Greenwood hit himself in the face with that ball, and he's feeling that. I meant to do that. I meant to do that. Otto, his right foot. Schmetzer trailed the play. Moname in the corner, bouncing ball, knocked it back. Nobody there but Greenwood. He'll get it under control, or tried to. Carbonera stepped in and fouled him.
Well back by Glenn. Just a dangerous player. Broke up the 3-on-2 there.
Ball dumped into the corner. Hops on over everybody. Now Greenwood from the thigh into the corner. The Saski's all over him.
Troy's doing a hell of a job taking Greenwood right out of the game. Greenwood seems to be their most dangerous player up front. And Troy's just done a great job of it.
Tanner misread a situation there, but recovered and got back on the ball and flipped it off to Orf. Crunch looking for their 14th consecutive win over the Invaders. Jim Finn on the floor for the Crunch for the first time tonight, a developmental player. Tanner, great play there. He got held up by Gilbert Gutierrez and missed Tanner on the backside. Some dangerous play from the Columbus defense. Now they're running 4-on-3. Gilbert at the controls. 3-on-3 as Igel stopped his run. Gilbert off the backboards. Otto got a piece. And Duff will win it. Otto takes care of it. Gutierrez tracks down the ball across. Igel with the recovery run. Back and forth we go. Jim Finn stepped in and made the tackle. Some
good work by Jimmy for his first shift of the night. Great stuff.
comes Tanner. Speaking of first shifts, Tanner scored in his first shift ever indoor. There's a right footer. Whistled wide. Vignovich. Duff stepped in. Oh, no Epstein. Had he collected, might have had a chance to go. Ooh, Tanner with a crafty little trip.
That's Donnelly for you. You gotta love it. He trips and then he turns around. What? What? What was that for?
Rich Grady right there. Figures if you can trip him before he gets to the ball, he has a better chance at winning it. I think Geigel did well to get that across the goal mouth. Columbus didn't have anybody at the back stick. A posting Noah Epstein. Ball in there whacking away. Scott Spencer followed it up. Otto will go long. Obi Moname. Handball against Ben Powers. Good call by Steve Siomas, who was right there.
Set it up! Set it up!
Spencer. Oh! Well, they're going to check to see if the lady is okay over there, and we'll slip out. Just over 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Crunch ahead.
Keep it moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving, moving, moving.
At BP, we know the best part of life is not spent at a gas station. That's why everything we do, from our world-class fuels to BP credit cards, from pay at the pump to BP Express, we do to keep you moving.
We keep it moving, moving. We keep it moving, moving. We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
Follow the crunch. Your independently owned and operated IGA supermarkets are proud to be the official food store of the world champion Cleveland Crunch. IGA Supermarkets, a part of hometowns like yours for 70 years, providing more quality, selection, and savings. Shop your hometown proud IGA. Save on your favorite brands every day. And follow the crunch. At IGA, we're hometown proud.
There you see some numbers for Henry Gutierrez and Nicky Vignovich. Henry has 3 assists.
The first line working their magic, the new duo.
Dynamic duo, the sequel. Mike Benito on the floor for the Crunch. Another guy who doesn't see the green all that much.
Everybody getting a chance to play tonight.
Marinaro played for Benito. Benito with his burst of speed into the corner. Held off a mark by Spencer. Martini will go long. This is Amenka Moname. Got a side footer off the outside of the right foot. Otto was at the near post. Marinaro drills one off the far boards. Dusowski played the boards and never got the Schmetzer. Ben Powers did a nice job and then got it back to Martini. Tima stepped in, won a ball. Greenwood back on it.
Great work by the ledge, reading that pass, getting over there, intercepting it.
Dusowski into the corner. Will Tim catch up? No. One thing about Tima is he's won in this league and knows how to win.
He sure does. I'll kid him all day long, but I'll take him on my team any day.
Greenwood, the give and go. Moname on the backside. Played the backboard, slapped down by Orf. Tima will pull his way out of his own end. They got a nice ball forward. It's over the head of Benito. They're looking for 3 lines. I thought it hit before the line myself. Hector says it was a 3-line pass.
3-line pass.
Neil Gilbert.
But the legend being the legend, they don't make those calls on him.
Exactly. Gilbert trying to work out of a mess. He's pulling his way to go. Still in control. Out high. They work around and they miss at the far stick. Greenwood. One too many passes after some great work.
Great work by Gilbert. Great ball control. Tight quarters.
Here comes shot ball. 2-on-1 with Gutierrez. He scores!
Great work. Just muscled Gilbert off the ball. Great finish. Showed a lot of composure there.
We have a player hurt. I believe it's Gilbert on the floor, but Johnny Ball with the goal at the 12-11 mark.
There, see both players just fighting for the ball, and Johnny just muscled them right off. A great finish, near post. Caught the goalie cheating a little bit.
Second career goal for John Ball.
There you see the referee right there. Both players pushing as hard. And the referee let the play continue.
Ball's second goal of the season, second of his career. The other one
Great
came in
finish
Baltimore.
right here. Goalie leading to the right and just slotted it near post.
Well, he had that option on the near side. Some work being done to Neil Gilbert. Remember, Neil was at the end of his shift there after working real hard in the corner.
Yeah, it looked like his shoulder. I think he jammed his shoulder when he fell on the ground.
Coming up after the Crunch game tonight. More Sports Channel and Live with Les Levine. Airs Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. or after the live event, and that's what you got tonight. You can call at 1-888-LES-TALK or at LesTalk@sportschannel.com. And another reminder that you can see the Crunch at the CSU Convocation Center Sunday afternoon when they take on the Cincinnati Silverbacks. 3 p.m. kickoff. And your next chance to see the Crunch on Sports Channel is from Cincinnati on December 8th, about a month away. Lots of soccer here with the Crunch and Sports Channel. December 7th, excuse me. Check your local listings.
Hopefully I won't be up here with you, Edward.
Down there scoring some goals from the Garden.
There's Manny.
Manny
likes to get in the picture there.
It's a 10-point lead now for the Crunch. They have scored the last 10 points.
Look for some of our regulars to get a rest now. From now on to the rest of the game. Looking forward to Sunday's game.
We might
also getting the younger players some playing time.
We might actually see a Marinaro on the floor this evening. Hopefully. Rob will get his shot. Jim Finn working hard, but he got called for the foul. And now give the Invaders a free kick out here on the near side. Jim Hesh, he had to go way back. The 10-second mark of the second quarter. Three-point try! Oh, a big stop by Orf. That was Drew Callahan who hit it on the screws.
Great job by Otto to hold that ball.
Hesh, some pace on the pass. Chris Duff. Hesh played. Off the boards. Finn steps in. And he's got some space to move forward. Then played to Vinovich. Mickey will slow the pace. On the far side is Finn. Hector, maybe you can give us an idea of the injury to Zorn and how long that's going to keep him out. Or
I think, you know, if we were in the playoffs right now, Zorn would be playing. But it's more of a precautionary thing. They're keeping him out. They don't want him to make it any worse than he already is. And he might play some on Sunday. Hopefully he'll be there Sunday. If not, he'll be there Friday, next Friday for sure.
It's a stop by Orf on a shot from the foot of Nick Igel. And the injury to Nicky Ristich, he's going to have surgery on Monday to his knee. He'll be out about 6 weeks.
Yeah, unfortunately, Nicky got hurt last game in Baltimore, and he's sorely going to be missed.
Through the box, Otto got a piece of it, hit the underside of the crossbar. Nick Igel was crashing through from the near side.
Great reflex there by Otto.
Unbelievable. Columbus has had a few chances tonight. Either Otto's come up big or some golden opportunities haven't been cashed in.
Yeah, I think they've definitely squandered a lot of opportunities that they should have put away.
Let's take a look again.
This is just reflexes right there. Lucky bounce off the under the crossbar.
There's a look at Otto.
Double O.
Had a birthday a week ago Monday.
Yeah, we had a couple birthdays this week.
Right.
We had John Ball on the 5th and my younger brother, Rob Marinaro, on the 6th.
Otto's on the 4th. Birthday celebrations for the Crunch.
This is a great opportunity for some of the young players on our team getting a lot of playing time here. Players like Mona May, number 5, out there right now. There's a chance for them to play when maybe later in the season they won't get a chance. And this is a great opportunity for them to show what they can do.
Now, these guys work hard in practice all the time, and they never get to show their stuff on the floor. Martini goes long. Greenwood took it off of his chin. Moname stepped in. That's over and back. I do believe no call. Here comes Ijo. It's in the seats. And Hector, to get back to a point we talked about earlier, you talked about these players that need to learn the indoor games. I mean, what are some of the key things that they have to adjust to?
I think the main thing is just playing the game. You know, start reading the bounces off the boards, the tendencies of the players on our team. You know, what each player likes to do, and that only comes by playing. And like I said, this is a great chance for the guys to get to know each other, to play, to learn the game, and have some fun.
No, Gilbert, you can always find him in the middle of bodies flying all over the place. That time he drew the foul. Only got 3 seconds to go here. Less than 3 seconds now in the third quarter. 10-point lead for the Crunch, and as Chuck Martini throws it to length, there's the horn. And we got 45 minutes on the score sheet. The Crunch has scored the last 10 points. And they lead it by 10 at 17-7. We'll be back for the fourth quarter here on Sports Channel. Don't go away.
Kid, you got the talent, but you got a problem. You're too nice. I'm gonna make you bad. Okay, Mr. Lambert. Good, very good.
It's a big, wide world, and America is quickly discovering there's room for more than one voice in music television. Open your eyes to Much Music, an alternative concept in music television. 24 hours a day, Much Music is all about music. Open your eyes to a more diverse and adventurous playlist coming to you from the out-of-control rooms of Much Music. Get in on the best-kept secret in music television, Much Music.
Call your local cable operator and ask for Much Music today.
We are not waiting for permission, for approval, for feedback. And we are most definitely not waiting for anyone to let us play. We are not waiting for anything except the ball. This is our time. This is our league.
TNN Motorsports. Make the right move. Follow the leader. TNN Motorsports. It's really very simple. You're watching the best motorsports coverage in the world. TNN Motorsports. TNN Motorsports. Keep your eye on the leader. It doesn't get any closer.
This message brought to you locally by Waco Truck and Off-Road Center.
Want to hear something amazing? Now when you subscribe to HBO, you get 3 different channels, not just one. No kidding. Every time you sit down to watch, you get 3 choices. See a hit movie here, or boxing here, or a comedy over here. You decide. And you get the extra channels for no extra cost. That's like getting 2 channels for free. Multi-channel HBO. Check it out.
Crunch still on a 10-point run. They lead it by 10 points, and surprisingly, that's really the only area of the game they've dominated on the score sheet as we look at the third quarter statistics. Shots on goal, only a 1-shot difference, but there's the big one.
Restarts, definitely. That's what we're famous for. We work on those, just about every day in practice, and we definitely like to score on restarts. You know, we're very successful at it. And if you can score 4 goals a game on restart, that's definitely going to help your record overall.
Just about set for the third quarter. A look at the Crunch bench. Bruce Miller still in control. Manny Katamus, the trainer, sitting over in the corner there. And there's the guys who have produced this evening.
Like I said, our first line. When I told you earlier, we want our second line just to play even with their second line and look for our first line to outscore their first line, and that's exactly what's happened tonight.
I think, you know, tonight is another, as Columbus tries a whack from way out, another indication of how valuable a player Andy Schmetzer is. You know, Andy can step in and play any position. I think the only place I haven't seen him play is goal, and he's done that as a 6th attacker. But, you know, he can play first forward, second forward, defense, midfield.
Yeah, Andy's probably one of the few players that's played just about every position on this team, and he does every position very well. So that's why he's our leader out there, and, you know, anywhere you put him, he'll be happy. You know, he ain't going to complain about it. Anything that he can do to help the team, he'll do.
I always kind of compare him to like a piece of clay. You just take him and you stick him in whatever position you need him, and you know, he just fits right in.
Yeah, you just know that you're going to get a solid effort and a solid game from him no matter where he plays.
Gutierrez, 3 assists tonight. We'll try for number 4. Oh, it's off of Moname in the underside of the crossbar, stings the Crunch. Big tackle from Andy. He ran into Gilbert.
Great ball by Obi. Found John Ball just sitting in front of the net all by himself. Where was the Columbus defense then?
John Ball had 1 career goal coming into tonight's game. He has doubled that total.
Great pass by Obi right here. Head up. Great pass. Great finish. Great first time right through the goalie's legs.
32 seconds into the 4th quarter.
You got to love the young kids coming through with playing time and taking advantage of it.
Moname picks up the assist. You know, we've had a goal scored in the first minute of 3 quarters this evening. Look out. Nigel came crashing through and banged it home. That's just wanting it.
Yeah, great effort. It's a nice ball by Hesh off the boards there, right into the middle of the box, and the Columbus forward just getting there before any of the Crunch defenders came. There you see Andy's playing him well, just holding him off, and the guy just plays it off the boards and just not getting in between our 2 defenders.
Well, that ends a run of 12 consecutive points from the Crunch. Second goal of the season for Nick. And those 2 goals came within 10 seconds of one another. Mike Benino!
Great work by Mikey, playing a 1-2 to himself off the boards. I think what they're going to look for here is Crunch, we got to tighten up the defense. But like I said, we try to keep the points under 10 points every game, and they're at 9 right now, and we shouldn't be giving up over 10 points to this team right here.
Ball skipped on by Drew Callahan. Otto will scoop it up. Tanner onto a ball. Oh, he tried to rifle one in. Tommy was looking for his name in the paper.
That was a little ambitious by Tommy there.
Tanner, we told you, was a 2-time All-ACC player, part of the Wolfpack attack that the Crunch has. North Carolina State products, Tanner, Gutierrez, Scott Schweitzer, who hasn't played much because of a bad toe, and DeJuan Bader was with the team last year.
DeJuan Bader now starting for the Harrisburg Heat, and I saw him a couple weeks ago in Washington, and he's very happy there, and he's getting a chance to play, which he probably wouldn't have gotten here in Cleveland, so he's happy to be in Harrisburg.
Kind of the same situation with Jim Adams here in Columbus.
Exactly. You know, you want to be on a winning team, but you also want to be playing.
Paul Can tried to pull his way around Jim Finn. Finn wasn't buying that. Oh, almost threaded a pass to Ben Power.
Great ball by Nicky.
Tanner ran into the backside of Drew Callahan, and he looks in the direction of Steve Siomos. Martini goes long and out. The ball come all the way back into the Crunch attack third.
You're going to see a restart at the top of the arc here. Henry will be on the ball and look for Nicky. How about goal number 4? He got 2 tonight? 2 tonight. How about a hat trick?
He's had hat tricks in every game he's played so far.
Well, let's get it for him then.
Gutierrez says, I'm taking this.
Henry wants his own hat trick.
Tanner Gutierrez! Stuck a head in and got it.
Could have been a dangerous play on the Columbus defender there.
And Scott Spencer is going to get off the field as quick as possible.
He knew that he committed a foul there, but he sprinted to the box when he thought it was a goal kick.
Here's a look. Oh.
Henry doing the smart thing and pulling out. You don't need going head first for that ball to score 19-9.
I think Scott Spencer's foot is a little less soft than Puff's tissue. All right. Crunch looking to go 3-0, and they have a commanding 10-point lead. Martini slings it. Igel tried to play to Callahan, and he's called for a foul.
I think this game's working out perfectly for Bruce Miller. You know, with another game coming up Sunday in our division, I think it's definitely to rest some of our key players and getting all the young guys a chance to play, and they're going to have to play on Sunday also.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it early on. I mean, injuries are a thing that you don't want to happen, but there's also opportunity there when it occurs. And if you can play through it, it makes you a stronger team. Martini, he's got no left foot. When a guy brings the ball to his left side all the way out and then flicks it with the outside of his right, you know his left leg is there just to stand on.
Definitely an initiation for the goalkeeper here tonight. Rough start for him to his NPSL career.
Look out. Boom. Oh, he tried to curl that one in.
Yeah, you know, there's another Columbus getting slack in what they're doing. You know, only one guy in the wall with Zingovich on the ball. You know, that's unheard of. There's just laziness right there.
Crunch is going to get another whack at it. Gutierrez and Zingovich. Henry will peel off. Nicky has an opening. He hit the wall that time. I thought the far side was open.
Far post is wide open.
Benito, give and go, and Gutierrez missed wide.
Great work by Mikey.
I think Mike's still looking for his first career goal. I think that's a safe assumption, but we'll check to make sure. No, he had 5 2-pointers last year.
Come on, Ed, where you been?
I'm out to lunch, obviously. See, normally you would check that before you say anything.
now that we've blown it up, I remember last year in Canton actually he had a couple goals, so this might be his team to play.
There you go. Good work by Marinaro. Andy coming forward. Marinaro on the far side. He has a shot that rockets off the body of an invader. Now Benito in traffic, got run off the ball. Good work by Moname. In a battle with ball, the give and go. Return pass wasn't as sharp as it should have been. Duff tries a long ranger, gets blocked by Moname. Here comes Benito. The Crunch running 3-on-3, played into space. Duff in good position. He got it back to Martini. Here comes Moname. Ow! Right there to knock it down.
Coming out and cutting down the angle, not giving him nothing to shoot at.
That reminded me of Hector Marinaro in pregame practice this morning. Marinaro was phenomenal.
Ask Keo about it. Keo's still in my pocket after this morning's practice.
And the pregame kick around back at the Crunch facility. Hector was stopping things that you wouldn't have thought could be stopped. Neil Gilbert now changing the hairstyle. He goes from the flowing locks to the ponytail look.
He'll change his look.
He might have a stylist on the bench. Here's Vinjevich. Walked around the ponytail Gilbert. Oh, recovered. That's over and back. And the Crunch will get a restart. There's a look at the dude. He's wearing that purple scrunchie. Here comes Vinjevich. Troy Dosowski recovered well. And the Crunch will regain possession just outside their own yellow line. Vinjevich got it up field. Paul Cant carries on. In the corner, double team Finn and Tanner there, and the foul called against the Crunch. And there's 2 minutes to Tommy Tanner. It's great. He didn't like the comment that Tanner had after the call. So Tanner will sit for 2 minutes, and this is going to give the...
I think Tommy just got a 5-minute misconduct, so it's going to be 5v5 here. No shorthand situation.
That's going to give another Crunch player some more floor time.
Exactly. And
Tommy's just being a team player, right?
I think Tommy Tanner's wallet a little bit lighter.
Number 8 for Cleveland. So it's 5 aside. The Crunch just lose the services of Tanner for the next 5 minutes. Martini will head it out of play. Can moving forward, try to walk around Schmetzer. Andy wasn't buying that. Otto goes long. Here comes Gutierrez. That should be a penalty right there. Martini kicked him for no reason. Gutierrez just ran in through the flow of the play.
He was just standing there.
And Martini kicked him.
Yeah. Should have been a 2-minute penalty, but I think the refs are just trying to get this game over with now. You know, it's
19-9 lead for the Crunch. Should they hold on to this 10-point lead, which they aren't wanting to do, it'll be 14 straight victories.
Good call by Steve there, the high foot. You know, just making sure the game doesn't get out of hand.
Gilbert goes in hard. Well, it is starting to get out of hand just a bit.
Yeah, we just gotta, you know, we just gotta sit on the ball now, knock it around, make them run.
Oh, there's a steal by Drew Callahan. Otto almost picked it up. Can goes long. Otto got a piece of it, and that's over and back. Otto was wondering what had happened. That's an over and back call. And now a 2-minute blue card will be issued to Drew Callahan. Boy, Columbus missed a couple of chances there.
Yeah, I really don't see the point in this penalty. You know, the guy's wasting his own time. Who cares? You know?
Right.
Let him waste his own time. They're the ones that are behind. They're the ones that have to get, you know, back into the game. Here's the replay. Otto just being a little bit too casual there and really had no one to pass it to. Kind of got caught. Made a nice save with the inside of his legs.
He really did well to recover from that situation because that was a big chance. So the restart, Columbus will now play a man short for the next 2 minutes. So the Crunch can only get 1-point goals for the next 2 minutes. No shootout here, and the Crunch wants a timeout. We'll take a break. 7:31 to go. Point lead for the Crunch over the Invaders.
One day, you'll live in a world where the music perfectly fits the way you feel, with the pure sound of a great CD and no commercials ever. You can live in that world now. It's called your home. If you can create that music, it's called Music Choice, the definitive music service. Over 30 different channels direct to your stereo. It's like you're hearing music for the very first time. Music Choice, the next great sound wave.
If you're waiting for Riverboat Gaming to come to Ohio, Mountaineer Racetrack and Gaming Resort has news for you. Mountaineer presents The Vogues, Friday, November 8th, 10 p.m. at the Racetrack Grandstand Arena. Tickets $5 at the gate. There's no advance ticket sales for this event.
So why wait for Riverboat Gaming? Come on over to Mountaineer Racetrack and Gaming Resort. It's less than an hour away. We'll leave the slots on for you.
Back on the floor, Gutierrez and Dosaski talk things over, and yes, we will see a Marinaro in the game this evening.
Making his Cleveland Crunch debut.
Yes, he is. Rob Marinaro doing a little bounce in there.
Yeah, I think he was the only one left on the bench that hadn't played tonight. So Bruce trying to get him some time. You know, he needs to get a few minutes in because, you know, starting in a couple weeks, he's going to be our starting keeper when Otto leaves to go with the U.S. national team.
Power play soccer for the Crunch. Nicky Vinovich. Cut it across. Schmetzer with the trap and the shot. Martini right there. Into the corner is Paul Can. There's a feisty player for you, Paul Can. Tia mixing it up with Ben Powers. Todd Dosaski run off the ball. Gilbert with the steal. Marinaro will play it up the boards. Crunching a scramble here.
Just trying to get it out of our own end here.
Finally, here they go. Schmetzer across. Gutierrez. He got run over by Todd Dosaski.
Those Dosaski. They'll tackle anything in front of them.
That's right.
The great working penalty killing by Columbus there. Putting a little pressure on us here. I think we got a timeout here by Columbus.
Neil Gilbert, as we mentioned, one of the few Columbus Invader players with indoor experience. We've got college football on Sports Channel coming your way. You've got plenty to choose from. The Big East, West Virginia and Rutgers, followed by the MAC, Central Michigan and Toledo. And the Louisville Cardinals will take on North Carolina. And Ohio U will take on Miami of Ohio before the day is over. That's a long day of college football.
A lot of football.
And your next chance to see the Crunch, December 7th. From the Gardens in Cincinnati. Cincinnati Silverbacks and the Cleveland Crunch. It'll be a Central Division matchup of the American Conference, which we're having here this evening. The Central Division made up of all Ohio teams, Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati. It's the only division in the league with 3 teams. And the way they've paired off the divisions this year, kind of regionally, and the East Division.
You know, when the schedule first came out, I was a little disappointed because I think they've taken away some of the rivalries the Crunch had. You know, with Buffalo and Baltimore, we only see them once in each hometown. So it's a little disappointing that we won't be seeing Buffalo more often in Baltimore.
Vignovich, nice move. He scored. Oh, is that sweet?
There's the hat trick.
Hat trick for Nicky Vignovich. He's got 3 goals in each game he has played for the Crunch. That's a 1-point goal.
That was just a great finish here.
Right there.
Great little fake, and then unbelievable finish. Right inside the post. Not much a goalie can do, but just look at it.
Another hat trick for Nicky. He's got the cycle.
Got the cycle tonight? His first career cycle.
3-pointer, 2-pointer, a 1-pointer, and an assist.
Good for him. Great young player. Definitely going to be a star in this league.
Man, that stutter step move he made on the way to goal. At the speed he was moving was incredible, and then he finishes to side netting. Wow. 20-9 is the score. That goal came at 8:55.
There he comes again.
Look out, looking for 4. Yeah! That's a 3-pointer. Wow! Wow. What else can you say?
That was just a rocket.
That comes at 9-12.
I really don't know what the goalie was doing on this, though. Hard to say, but it seemed to go right in the middle of the net, but it was a rocket. Upper netting, but just tremendous power.
I got him with 10 points tonight. The cycle, a pair of three-pointers. There's a strong tackle from Scott Spencer. 23-9. I think you could start the bus. The Crunch ringing up their 14th straight victory over an Invader club, albeit this is the first time they played Columbus.
Really a great all-around effort by the Crunch tonight. You know, from all the veterans starting the game, putting the game out of reach, and then the young guys coming in and putting a stamp on this game. It's a great effort all around.
You know, from a Columbus standpoint, and you're not getting any break when the guys from the Crunch are coming out who haven't played, because they're not going to sit back. They're trying to earn positions. They're playing as hard as they can. They might be coming at you even harder than the established veterans.
Definitely, I think they are. But they don't get many chances to play, and they're going to take advantage of it any chance.
There's a try. Martini looking for a goal. He's figured if Otto can do it, why can't I? Moname got it under control. He's being hounded by Paul Can. Can came up with a tackle. Holding off Spencer and Moname, and finally got the foul. No, Epstein back on the floor. If we get a close-up of that guy that just touched the ball, he's got a bandage over his left eye, and he had to get some work done on the Invader bench, and I don't rightly recall when he got hit.
No, it looks like he took a couple stitches above his left eye and right back out there. Give him credit. He scored 23-9. Your team's down. Give him credit for coming back out there.
Tackle from Neil Gilbert. There's a strong tackle from Jim Finn. It's 4v2. Vinjevich tried to cut it back for Finn.
Oh.
Trying to give him the reward there, but the pass got busted up. Martini. He could have put Duff in the hospital with that pass. Little scrum along the boards, and finally Hesh came away. Marinaro with the stop. Ball squirts free. Callahan out of the penalty box. Here comes Igel. Kia at his heels. Mickey stepped in and made the steal, then played it forward to an Invader. For a posting, Jim Hesh. Look at this skill. Andy had the right idea, couldn't get it by Duff. Here comes a 3-on-1, but the Invaders getting back across. Kia took it down.
Great ball by Andy there.
To give it go, never made it to Kia. Spencer miswhacked one, and he goes off laughing. Get me off the floor. Well, you can afford to smile at a 23-9 game.
It's pretty much turned into a laugher.
Yeah, yes. I think that is the correct term. Vinjevich, Finn had to hurry to keep it out of his own end, then banged it ahead. It's going to come down just outside the yellow line anyways. We've got a break on the way. We'll be back.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
At BP, our high-octane Super 93 is formulated with our highest level of engine cleaning power. Super 93 delivers everything you demand in a premium gasoline, so you can concentrate on more important things.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving. We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
You don't have have to be a pro athlete to need sports medicine and rehab. Sure, a lot of the people you see in the peak at Marymount make their living on the playing field, but a lot of them don't. They're firemen and architects and moms too, and they all have the same thing in common. They need to get back on the job. For professional sports medicine and rehab, call the Peak at 663-0080 and get back into action. Sports Medicine Center of the Cleveland Crunch and Lumberjacks.
At Pacific and Hector Marinaro back at Battelle Hall. The Crunch just over 2 minutes away from their third victory of the season without a defeat. This will send the Invaders to their second loss in as many games. Todd Nisowski in a crowd of white shirts found his brother. Tanner has finished serving his 5-minute misconduct. Plays to Rob Marinaro. Rob had a good run with the Buffalo Blizzard last year.
It's easy for you to say.
I had a brain cramp there. I went Buffalo. I knew it wasn't the Sabres. I knew it wasn't the Bison. I knew it wasn't the Stallion. I knew it wasn't the Bandits. It finally came to me. I actually had to envision the logo before I figured out what the name of that team was. Hesh just missed wide on the three-point attempt. Rob will bring it out. Plays long. He's looking for an assist or a goal. Everybody needs to get on the score sheet. Finn along the boards. Back heel is squirted through the legs of Rob Marinaro. Is Epstein on the way to goal? Rob came out, turnaround shot, and he scored. It was Noah Epstein who turned the ball in front of the goal. And the Crunch goal of keeping the opponents under 10 is now history.
There it is. It's the big scramble in front of the goal, and it pops out to Epstein there.
Epstein's first goal.
Just, yeah, right spot at the right time.
Hesh will get an assist. 13:33 at the time of the goal. Jim Hesh has had a good night individually on the score sheet, a goal and 2 assists, but that doesn't mean a lot in a 12-point loss. Remember, Epstein has got that big old patch over his eye. Here comes Emeka Moname holding up his brother. Hey, and one of the Nisowski twins steps in. It's a family affair.
Tommy.
Knocked out. We're under a minute to play. Crunch will be back in action at CSU on Sunday against the Silverbacks. The left foot of Willie Merrick. Well, we learned a couple of things about a couple of players on the Columbus Invaders this evening. A lot of fresh faces. We know Willie Merrick has a strong left foot. We know Chuck Martini can't use his left foot. They're a hard-working bunch, really. They played a good first half, then got a bit out of shape in the second. Noah Epstein curled it wide, struck it well. Nice tackle by Willie Merrick, and Tanner felt the wrath of that. Obi Moname collected it well.
I think what the Columbus Invaders really lack is some really go-to players that can really score goals for them when it's really important. And they have a lot of hard workers and a lot of diggers, but they need a few goal scorers that can make a difference in the game.
Right, and I mean, you look at their experience, and their experience is in goal and on defense. I mean, if you're talking about years of experience indoor, which aren't many for Jim Adams and Neil Gilbert. Nobody really up front that,
They don't have a proven goal scorer that can get them goals when they really need them at crucial times in the game.
5 seconds away from the shouting here. Moname never got it off, and there's the horn. Crunch wins here from Battelle Hall to move to 3-0 on the season. We'll be back to recap this one after a break. Crunch wins 23-11.
Catch all the excitement of the Cleveland Browns each week on Sports Channel with me, Gerald McNeil.
Also known as the Ice Cube, and with me, Bill Futterer, Browns president. We'll look at the 1964 championship, the Paul Brown era, and those cardiac kids. Long, deep and out,
Cleveland Browns countdown to 99. Catch it this Wednesday at 6:30 on Sports Channel.
Oh yeah, I didn't tire me out now. Ice Cube.
You're not that rapper, are you?
A log cabin on the lake. Just me and my wife and fishing.
I can tell you what I won't do. Won't just curl up and vegetate.
Do something I've wanted to do since college. Go back to college.
Eating un crucero. Alaska.
Secure your retirement plans with U.S. savings bonds. The easy way to save, the safe way to invest. Get them where you work or bank.
Take stock in America. U.S. savings bonds.
Cooperstown, New York. It's small-town America, and it's the American game. Baseball's heroes and treasures all gathered together in a magical building on Main Street. This is Joe Garagiola inviting you to visit the Baseball Hall of Fame in the perfect village of Cooperstown, New York. I tell you, it's a special place. A place of dreams and memories. Don't you miss it.
The Big Ten football race should be one of the most competitive in years in '96, and the Wolverines of Michigan will be right in the middle of it. Don't miss a minute of the action. Watch Michigan Replay each and every week with Michigan head coach Lloyd Carr. You'll get the inside story from the coach himself with game highlights, features, and scouting reports. Michigan Replay, the only show with the inside information on Wolverine football. Don't miss it each and every week this fall.
For the inside story on Michigan football, watch Michigan Replay.
For a growing soccer world by CEI, Illuminating Company. Ryan and Stratton College, the career college choice in Northeast Ohio. Arby's, it's better out here. Crunch Soccer brought to you by BP. At BP, everything we do is to keep you moving. By the Peak at Marymount, go where pro athletes go. And by IGA, your hometown proud IGA supermarket. There's the final score once again, 23-11, the Crunch a winner. The Feel It Changed the Game MVP, none other than Nicky Vinovich. 10 points tonight.
Just a great game by Nicky. Different class tonight. 4 great goals. First cycle as a Crunch player. Another hat trick. 3 hat tricks in 3 games. Can't ask for much more of a debut.
Unbelievable. And here's the BP big play of the game. Don't see this often.
Otto Orf with the fastball right down the middle. Right over the new goalkeeper's head. Welcome to the NPSL.
Yes, indeed. It's a 3-0 win for Hector Marinaro. I'm Ed Vasenik saying so long from Columbus. I will be back. Don't leave us.
What's so great about real work experience before you graduate college? I'll show you.
Gee, sir, I don't have experience like that. But I did get an A in basket weaving.
Me, sir? I have experience. Thanks to my externship, I'm ready to work. Let me show you my portfolio. Real work experience is what they're looking for. Get it at Bryant and Stratton.
What are you doing to the boards?
Throw elbow.
Guy's on a fast break.
Trip him.
When a guy looks at you.
Refer to his mother.
What's this? He's got it. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
No more. No more.
Wait, this isn't me. I gotta play with decency. Honesty. I gotta play clean. Nice shot.
Open at the back stick. Here comes Lofton. Orf with the stop. The ball free. Oh! And blocked by Marinaro. Hector shoots the score.
The Cubs are tied again. The Cubs are tied again.
But here we go.
Won the game! The Cubs have won the game! The Cubs are the NPSL champions! The Cubs are
The Crunch used a 12-point run in the middle of the game to rack up their third win without a loss. They are 3-0 on the season. The Crunch back in action Sunday afternoon against Cincinnati at the CSU Convocation Center. Our next Sports Channel broadcast, December 7th from Cincinnati. For Hector Marinaro, I'm Ed Basinek, finally saying so long from Columbus. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
I wanted to get your opinion on the series. Who you think's going to take it?
As much as it pains me to say the New York Yankees,
Don't say it.
I think it's their time to beat the Atlanta Braves.
One last thing. You say the Yankees are going to take it. How many games do you think that it's going to take them to do it?
6.
Now, here's the man Cleveland Magazine has named Sports Talk Show Host of the Year. But he's still just as humble as always. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one, the only, the greatest, Les Levine.
As we round out the week, good evening, everyone. Welcome to More Sports Channel and Les Levine. We're here up until 11 o'clock tonight following a Cleveland Crunch victory over Columbus by a score of 23-11. It is a Friday night. That means it's our first week anniversary of having Red in studio, and our perhaps last anniversary of having Red in studio. But we will have a couple of our sports professionals, George Mahori and Steve Fulton, will join us. A lot of people say, who are these sports professionals and what gives them the title sports professional? Back over the last 6 or 7 years in doing radio, we used to do a thing called the Sports Huddle, where people would send in postcards and try to be part of the show, one of our sports huddles. We would get 3 or 4 of the listeners in the studio, and we took some of the better ones and turned them into what we now call sports professionals, most professional businessmen, and we certainly respect their opinions, but the bottom line is they are fans just like you and just like me. So George and Steve will be in here a little bit later. You can reach us on email at letstalk@sportschannel.com, letstalk@sportschannel.com. In fact, you can give us your answer to the question of the week. This week's question is, how many games do you think the Cavaliers will win? And we'll total them up and give the results on Monday night, and we'll have another question of the week. How many games will the Cavaliers win this season, and why? So if you give a low number or a high number or a middle ground number, let us know why you have that optimism or pessimism as far as the Cavaliers are concerned. From our email department today, can you check with Sports Channel to see if they plan on replaying the Browns' countdown to 99? I live in Parma, and my cable operator, Cox Cable, decided to air Fox News in Pittsburgh and a Penguins hockey game instead. This cable company also didn't air your show last Friday, the one with Red, and many of my friends were gathered around to watch that show, but again, Cox decided that Cleveland fans wanted to see sports news from Pittsburgh all night long. Now, this writer also says I should email the answer because he doesn't want to take a chance. Maybe Cox Cable again will be airing a Pittsburgh game on the night I'm giving the answer. All I can tell you is that you can call your cable operator, in this case Cox Cable, and tell them you'd rather see more Sports Channel and Les Levine. If enough people contact them, perhaps they will make that change. We also had this from Mike in Strongsville. Do you have any idea when and how the Indians tickets are going to be sold this year? I'm assuming that it'll be the same as last year, standing out at Jacobs Field in freezing weather early in the morning without having any idea of what the heck is going on. Please let us know as soon as you can. Well, as soon as we know, we will. He also gave us a Karnak. So we'll give you Mike in Strongsville's Karnak. You ready for this? I don't have an envelope. El Paso. El Paso. The play a Mexican quarterback uses when he does not El Runo. El Paso. There you have it. Email letstalk@sportschannel.com. Rosenfeld Jewelers is the place to go for the last 30 years in the Cleveland area. Now they're located in the Greens of Lyndhurst at Brainerd and Mayfield Road. If you have trouble for shopping for special occasions, the people at Rosenfeld Jewelers can take care of all your needs. Just give them an idea what you want, then go grab something to eat at one of the fine area restaurants. Come back in about 10 minutes. They'll have it all wrapped up and ready to go. It's about the easiest one-stop shopping you can do, and you'll have it done in about 5 or 10 minutes. If you're intimidated by the big mall stores, the chain stores, you don't have to be intimidated. At Rosenfeld Jewelers, they've got custom-made items right on the premises, and most importantly, browsers are welcome. In the Greens of Lyndhurst, Brainerd and Mayfield Road, and that's at 446-0099, Rosenfeld Jewelers. We're going to go to the phones, and we'll start with Mary in Columbus. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Les. How are you tonight?
I'm fine, Mary. How are you?
I'm fine, and I want to tell you, you always have a good show, so don't ask anybody tonight.
Well, you don't know. It's early.
That's true, but I know it's always a good show.
Very good. What's up?
What I wanted to talk to you about was the other night you and Hal and I believe the gentleman's name was Alan?
Alan Copet. He's the president of the Cleveland Bar Association.
Okay. You were talking about how there used to be hustle on the field when the ball players were playing ball. I've gone to ball games for 50 years, and there used to be a lot of hustle. The boys on the infield would whistle. And why isn't that being done anymore?
Well, they're checking their stock portfolio at the time, and hustling gets in the way of that. I don't have that answer. I think that the players looked at the game differently in those old days. Doesn't mean they were better. It's just a different way of playing the game, that's all.
Well, okay. I thought maybe you might have the right answer.
Well, that's the best one I can give you.
Well, you're always right, so I'll take that.
Thank you, Mary. Good to talk to you. Let's go to Alex in Cambridge. Hi, Alex.
What's up, Les?
How you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Okay.
I was wondering about Albert.
What about him?
Okay, well, the way I've heard people talking, the Indians aren't even interested in him anymore.
Well, that's not true.
Okay, well,
who told you that? Who told you that, Alex?
I don't know. Just things I've been seeing on TV. People around.
No, they're interested in him.
Okay, well, what about the Marlins? Can they even talk to him yet? Because I've also heard that they're talking to him.
November 15th is the first time they can actually talk.
Right. So how long? What is that? Like a 3-week waiting period, or?
November 15th. What's today? The 8th? A week from today.
No, I mean from the point that.
Well, it's my understanding all of the sides involved would like to have it done by Thanksgiving. So they're only going to have about 10 or 12 days once once that is lifted. Let's go to Jay in Brunswick. Hi, Jay.
Who do you like in the Massillon-Brunswick football game?
In the Massillon-Brunswick football game?
Yeah.
You're calling from Brunswick?
Yep.
Well, who do you like, Jay?
Brunswick.
So, what difference does it make what I think?
Well, I wondered who do you think was going to win?
Well, if you were from Massillon, I probably would say Massillon. If you're from Brunswick, I'd probably say Brunswick. How's this? Tie game.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Are you going to go to the game?
Yeah.
Very good. Enjoy it. Let's go to Eric in Shaker Heights. Hi, Eric.
Hi, Les. How you doing
I'm
tonight?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I just wanted to ask your opinion on the Green Bay Packers going here into the second half of the season. Lack of wide receivers and a lack of running game with cold weather on the horizon.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. And Favre is probably the best quarterback in football right now. But if these receivers keep going down, and I don't know what he has, and you make a good point. They're playing those games up at Lambeau Field. And it's going to be tough as you get into the bad weather, but I still think they're the team that to beat to get to the Super Bowl. I still think somehow they'll find a way to do it.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the call. Let's continue on. We're going to go to Dan in Canton. Hi, Dan.
How you doing there, buddy?
All right. How are you doing?
My buddy wants to talk real quick. Here he is.
Why didn't your buddy call?
About the Indians. Hey, Les.
Yeah.
I just want to know. Do you think that Mike Hargrove should have got Manager of the Year instead of Torrey and the other fella?
Doesn't bother me one way or the other.
No?
Why? I think he did a good job, but...
Oh, I agree, too.
It doesn't bother me that he didn't get it.
All right.
All right?
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, thanks. I mean, what's the big... it only means something to Hargrove. I think he deserved it, but I certainly can make a case for Oates and for Torrey. No question about it. Our sports professionals will be joining us shortly. That'll be George Mahori and Steve Fulton. We're here up till 11 o'clock tonight, and we'll talk about whatever is on your mind and theirs. You can give us a call to get on board. We'll come on back with George and Steve, our sports professionals, live on Sports Channel.
Hi, folks. I'm Rolly Massimino, the head basketball coach at Cleveland State. I don't miss many of Les Levine's show here on Sports Channel.
This is it, the final anniversary sale days at both Weiss locations, Beechwood Place and Rocky River. The guaranteed lowest prices of the year on furs, leathers, and cloth. The largest selections of the season. Satisfy your craving for something luxurious and warm in the season's most beautiful fashions, from petite to plus sizes. Fabulous furs and leathers at the guaranteed lowest prices of the year. Instant credit, 48 months to pay. During the final days of the Weiss anniversary sale days at Weiss Rocky River and Weiss Beechwood Place.
It is now possible to grow new hair in your thinning areas. This process is called micro hair grafting. Notice how each strand of hair is growing directly out of the scalp. Micro hair grafting is a totally different procedure than the old hair transplant method. Call now to receive our free brochure on micro hair grafting. Call area code 216-468-4554. That's area code 216-468-4554.
Hi, Jerry Bailey here. You know I won this year's Kentucky Derby on Grindstone? I've won 4 out of the last 5 Breeders' Cup Classics. That's pretty exciting, but nothing compared to what's going on at Thistledown.
Now you can catch 80 races a day at Thistledown. In addition to our live races, our full card simulcasting lets you wager on the hottest horses and the best jockeys from the nation's top tracks every day till 9 p.m.
We'll all be at Thistledown nearly every day. I'll be the one in front.
Thistledown, now America's best bet in racing.
You know, sister, I can beat my drum all year, but I can't beat the outstanding coverage I get in Indians Inc.
John, I read Indians Inc. religiously. Every issue has features on current and former TriStars and a minor league report.
And don't forget the great columnists.
I'm in the habit of collecting the color posters.
And it's the perfect gift for all Tribe fans.
Want a chocolate chip cookie?
Want a drumstick? It's a miracle.
Let's get back to more Sports Channel and Les Levine.
Welcome back, more Sports Channel and Les Levine. The Crunch a winner tonight, 23-11 over the Columbus team, and the Crunch just keeps rolling along. It is Friday night. It is time to bring in another batch of sports professionals, and to my left is George Mahori, and to my right is Steve Fulton. And gentlemen, we in the first segment I sort of said how the sports professionals all began. Was I fairly right, George?
You're right on.
Yeah.
Except for we had to send in a postcard or a letter.
Right.
It had to be in 50 words or less.
Right.
And the only reason I was on was because I titled it in 50 words or less, LES.
With one S.
You didn't listen to anything I wrote in the.
That was good enough to get you on. Well, actually, we only had 3 postcards, so we took whatever we wanted. George Mahori, let's see, since we've been doing it, what, 4 or 5 years now with you?
Yeah.
You've had 7 or 8 different jobs. What are you doing these days?
I'm folding banks left and right, so I've gotten out of the banking institutions altogether.
Right.
With the Motor Cars Group, Honda Pontiac, and working in leasing and sales.
Terrific. Steve Fulton from the Ohio Center of Broadcasting. Do we need to move this microphone up a little bit, or are we okay on Steve? Well, whatever. We'll find out in a minute. Hello, Stephen. How are you, Stephen?
Good to see you. You're looking well.
Thank you, sir. You too. And, of course, Steve Fulton is a name that Cleveland sports fans, radio sports fans would know because you've been the engineers for the Indians, for the Browns, for the Cavs, for Cleveland State, the Crunch, maybe?
The Crunch. I did the Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts.
And who could forget the Thunderbolts?
Remember
them?
I certainly do. I certainly do. Steve, if we have a minute, why don't you tell the story of the time you were setting up down in Tampa Bay for the the Browns were going to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in an exhibition game in August, right?
Tampa Bay Stadium is one of the highest and farthest stadiums where they put visiting radio always in one of the worst places. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The game's 8 o'clock at night. Thunderstorm coming in. I'm kind of not paying attention. Setting up for the Browns game. And all of a sudden, wha-boom! Boom! Got hit by lightning. My sneakers were smoldering, and I remember not a whole lot, But Nev Chandler, finally we got things together. In fact, they almost canceled the game. It was one of the first times they're going to cancel the game because of a lightning bolt. The stadium almost caught on fire. They didn't care about me, my hair. That's how my hair got this way. But Nev Chandler gets on and goes, "We're lucky to be on the air. Steve Fulton, our engineer, is struck by lightning. Here's the kickoff." So all the people at home going, "He's what? Is he alive? Is he dead?" But I made it.
Well, you say your tennis shoes were blown apart, right?
Yep.
If you weren't wearing tennis shoes, the odds that you wouldn't be here tonight, is that correct?
It would be a good chance that those Nikes came through, and I even wrote to Nike, but I guess they had Michael Jordan lined up already. I came in second.
All right. The way we used to do this on radio is we would have you guys do your homework, and your homework assignment was to come in with a topic. We don't have time to do that, but we have opening statements. So make a statement, then we'll go to calls. So, George, what do you have? What do you have to say here?
Well, we've been talking about it amongst my friends, the guys I choose sports with all the time. There's been a lot of talk about Mike Hargrove should have been considered more AL Manager of the Year than he actually fared. My feeling is I'm not even sure he should be the manager for the Indians, the way he managed in the Baltimore series. And basically, when they had the blueprint for success, which the Indians had published quite a bit about how they were going to build the team,
right.
I was wondering if there was something in the blueprint about building the management staff, because I don't think they've done a real good job with that.
Well, you know, the bit about, and we had a caller asking about Hargrove, whether he should have been Manager of the Year. I don't know why would the fans care about that? It's meaningless
Absolutely meaningless.
to me. I would like to see an Indian be MVP or Rookie of the Year or Cy Young Award winner. I'm not sure that Manager of the Year is an award that I'd, you know, I would hear who the winner was, like in this case Oates and Torres. Okay, fine. But the other guys, I mean, there's talk about it. I don't know if you can measure what a manager does. And you know, the thing, we heard all year that Bobby Cox outmanaged Hargrove in the World Series last year. Bobby Cox made a terrible strategy mistake in this past year.
Way outmanaged.
Well, I don't know that you can say I think in football and basketball you can be outcoached or outcoached.
Well,
I don't know that you can in baseball.
But maybe not during the regular season, but it just seems like it really sticks out in the playoffs.
Players play.
Players play, but when the teams are so evenly matched, and either the pitching on each team is pitching real well, or the other teams aren't hitting real well, you have to make up for what's not working in another way. And the manager's the one who decides how to do that.
But how about decisions? For example, Cox makes the move to walk Bernie Williams unheard of, first and second.
Right.
Okay? And it doesn't work. It backfires on him. Okay? But if the next guy hits a meaningless fly ball, then you say he's a genius.
Well,
I mean, it's the same move.
It's the same thing in anything. If it doesn't work out, you're a goat.
Right.
And if it does work out, you're, like you say, you're the genius.
Steve, don't you think that being a manager in the major leagues, the 9 innings that you play from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock or whatever is I'm not going to say it's meaningless, but it's not more than 50% of what you do. I think strategy and bunting and hit and running, I think it's what you do in the clubhouse, what you do with the personalities.
It's like any management position in any business. I mean, what goes on the field is part of it. But especially in Hargrove's case, geez, his managing skills, keeping Albert Bell, Carlos Baerga, whatever happened there,
right,
and keeping that product happy and productive
on
the field
is
more popular or more important than what's going on during the game.
How do you answer what happened down a couple of years ago when Olin and Cruz get tragically killed? I mean, how do you? Don't you give him credit for keeping the team together at that point?
I'm not saying that Mike Hargrove's not a good manager from that standpoint.
Right.
From what I'm basing it on is that we should have won the World Series at least once in the last 2 years.
Okay.
And I think that Mike's one of the reasons why we didn't win it. Yeah, we played great. We had great regular seasons, and he did really good job with the guys in the clubhouse and stuff. But look at the stuff we've been talking about on your radio show for the last 2 years. Look at the fundamentals. Look at the fielding.
Yeah.
Look at some of the base running mistakes. And a lot of these things are managerial type things that were not properly handled. And I guess that's what my beef is.
All right, Steve, before we get to your question or your statement here, I need to know if you guys have purchased your How Come Quickie t-shirts, sweatshirts, or More Sports Channel and Les Levine mugs.
You know I have that shirt and I wear it to bed every night.
You don't have, the new one you have?
Yes.
All right, you can purchase them as we speak. You can give us a call at 1-800-391-4976, 1-800-391-4976, and the t-shirts and the sweatshirts have the writing and everything else on both sides. The sweatshirt on the left is what you see on the front, and on the back of the T-shirt on the right is on the back of both the T-shirts and sweatshirts. $12 for the mug, $19 for the T-shirt, and $29 for the sweatshirt. 1-800-391-4976. And unless you're Ron Rothstein, the assistant coach of the Cavaliers, who walked away.
That's what I was planning on doing tonight.
Well,
nice
you
item.
can't do that. It is a nice item. And by the way, speaking of good items, George Mahori is a part writer of the Cleveland Trivia Quiz
Yes,
book.
I brought this as a gift for the library here for the Sports Channel staff. I know that you have one in your personal library.
Yes, I do.
But it's a book put out this year by Gray & Company Publishers for the bicentennial, and it's going to be available in all bookstores. Borders,
I'm quoted
Waldens.
in there, am I not?
You are. It's one of the acknowledgments is to Les Levine, the voice of truth and reason.
If you had 3 more quotes, you'd have a gallon.
Thank you very much.
$6.95.
Thank you very
all
much.
bookstores. Good stocking
By
stuffer.
the way, here, for some reason, you know, we hid Boy Sherman and Slider. I don't know what happened. Our set boys weren't ready. Of course, if you say the secret word, and I can't show you the word, well, I can show George. George, would you agree that that's an easy word and should be said?
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, if somebody says it, we're up to day number 3 of Boy Sherman cigars, and we'll send it out. Also, if you're on the line with us when Howie Chiswick lets us know that there are 2 minutes remaining in a segment, if you say thanks, Howie, you'll win a Hungry Howie's Pizza in Lakewood, 228-8300. Steve Fulton, what do you have for us?
Loyalty and heart.
H-E-A-R-T? Yeah.
A little bit of both.
Okay.
In my lifetime, going back to when I was an Indians bat boy, way back 19...
with the red sleeves, right?
Red sleeves.
The cut-off
shirts,
yeah.
Those. Alvin Dark, the manager, and Leon Wagner, Rocky Calavio, Max Elvis, those days. I mean, you grew up and loved the team, and it was very common sometimes where a player would do his whole career with one team.
Right.
Albert Bell's got to be the greatest player in Cleveland history that we've had during this whole era. Like him, not whatever. As a player, you're looking at a Mickey Mantle, Harmon Killebrew type of ball player in 1996. Does that mean anything anymore? Is there loyalty with one company, whether it be Ameritech or a realty company? Is Albert Bell a bad guy for wanting to make a move? Is he in the same category as Art Modell for moving and taking the money?
Absolutely not.
Some people are going to think that.
Here's you talk about all those years, and of course the rules of the game have changed
quite a bit
with free agency and everything else. Other than Brett Butler, think of an Indian starter that Cleveland has lost. Now there was a threat of losing Joe Carter, and so they made the trade. He got Baerga and Alomar and Chris James. But in reality, the Indians have not lost somebody. Well, we're on the verge of losing somebody, but we sit here and we talk sports all the time, and somebody says, well, let's go buy Smoltz, or let's go buy a free agent, or whoever, and you don't look at it from the other side, that some team is losing him. We're in danger of losing a superstar for the first time.
One of the best.
Yeah, but it's the first time it's happening to us.
Manny Trio, Manny DeNiro.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's just like we had to get used to winning, and we had to get used to a new ballpark.
Right.
This is another thing we have to get used to.
This is the price you pay. That's right. It's the price you pay for success.
Being successful.
It's absolutely correct.
We're looking at more down the line, too, with Glofton.
No question. No question. By the way, people standing by at Cleveland State right now for season tickets, you can call 687-4848 for the best seats in the house. $10 a seat. 14 games, $140, and anybody who calls right now, 687-4848, and orders those tickets will be eligible to win a trip for 2 up to the Michigan State game when we go up to East Lansing to do the game here on Sports Channel. Call right now, 687-4848. Georgetown coming up on the 23rd, 2 weeks from tomorrow, and then Michigan 3 weeks from tomorrow. And Steve, you will account for the fact, and you will verify the fact, that going to a game with me can sometimes be fun. We've had some of over the years.
One of my best times in all of broadcasting when we did the Thunderbolts game in Cincinnati.
We went with Eddie Johnson. Our trip to Cincinnati.
The assassin.
It took, would you say, 15 minutes or 18 minutes? We laughed.
12 minutes.
We laughed for 4 hours straight with Eddie Johnson. It was an incredible trip. All right, George Mahoria is with us. Steve Fulton is with us. They are 2 of our sports professionals. Another batch will come in next week, and we'll do that on Fridays, and we'll get to your calls. One line just popped open if you'd like to get on as more Sports Channel and Les Levine continues. Monday night, we'll have Dan McCarthy. He's a limited partner to the New York Yankees, and the boss, George Steinbrenner, is expected to call in.
Right.
And we're going to ask him the effect of George Costanzo from Seinfeld to see what he did for the Yankees this year.
computer. Ribbed cotton.
Of course, our lovely ladies. With our hosts, Craig Corca, Billy DeRosa, and the Beach Patrol with Jimmy K and Lisa. And now from Penrod's on world-famous South Beach, it's the Beach Bash.
Or anything.
Blacked.
By keep action theme.
Ahead.
He's gone. He's gone. He's gonna bring it back. He's gone.
You don't have that security blanket where.
Oh!
Mitchell.
Put me in a dread. Be back in
He would hold
Time. Oh.
This is
street experience. But Saturday night, November 9th, if you'd like to experience just a laser light show, telephone and order only available on pay-per-view. Do we have WBA championship belt on the line as he faces a former
not quite the same. And
homicide.
No, just for the paperwork.
Because you never know.
Oh, not
I read your play. Did you like it?
Jim Grand, where my good friend and partner Bruce Beck is standing by to talk to us all about tonight's or tomorrow night's exciting events.
Cycling and not on a stationary bike. He's out there on his...
Not really.
Fighting. Stick to fishing from now on.
And there you have it, contestant number 7 from Columbia. Let's hear it for Catherine.
Wow.
Here we go with contestant number 8 from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Give it up one time for Sherry.
Bronze tan and bronze dress goes very well together, don't you think?
Our 5 finalists in this afternoon's contest are going to get a gift certificate from Savvy Swimwear, valued at over $100.
Our next contestant is...
Oh, from Hollywood, Florida, give it up for Michelle.
And Michelle is a scholarship volleyball player and an academic student.
Let's hear it for Yvette.
Green collage dress from...
Savvy Swimwear, right here in South Beach. Now, Yvette is an assistant dining room manager, and her career goals are to become a doctor.
One more time, guys. Give them all a nice round of applause. Today's contestants at the Penrod Beach Bash here in South Beach. All right, everybody, don't go away. We're going to be right back here at the Beach Bash. We're going to go see the Beach Patrol, what they're doing today. Only heaven knows. Jimmy K and Lisa coming up. A lot more happening. First round of the bikini contest next.
men and women both.
The amateurs don't.
That's where steer.
Children, it's like
The show.
and that carries.
One.
Pretty good titles.
But
there's
valuable.
A number of.
Gotta make your own rules. Your fantasies come true. Only 340.
You waited for it, you won it.
This is your ransom.
Only E takes you to the live premiere of the most awaited film of the season. Join us at the star-studded Tinseltown unveiling of director Ron Howard's new thriller. See Ransom stars Mel Gibson, Rene Russo, and Gary Sinise when E pays for your ticket to see Hollywood royalty walk down the red carpet.
You still have a chance to do the right thing.
Be there for the live Ransom premiere Saturday at 6 Eastern only on E.
Go inside the O.J. trial with word-for-word reenactments. It's the O.J. Simpson civil trial Monday through Friday, 8 Eastern and 10 Pacific, only on E.
This is the latest video game we're developing, and this is our inspiration. My Volkswagen Jetta, $219 a month, excellent. When you write code for 15 hours straight, you gotta get out. The Jetta's a real German road car with plenty of room for 4 carbon-based life forms. It's got dual airbags, daytime running lights, and side impact door beams, because in real life, there is no reset button. On the road of life, there are passengers.
Are they?
I like it.
You start.
Vitali, Patapico, over big country. Big nothing for him. Vitali over the top. Vitali can also go perimeter. Pops outside, drills the 18-footer. The Cavs, 42-28 at the half. Cavs just blow it open at third. Bobby Sura, two-hand slam. Sura with 15 points and a career 13 rebounds. The Cavs were off and running. They get 12 from Phils, another dozen from Patapico, and the Cavs by 16, 88-72 over Vancouver. They'll host the Nuggets Sunday. Let's go to the crunch. They were in Columbus. Hey, stop that kid with the game ball or we can't play. Henry Gutierrez with the side kick deflected by Tommy Tanner. Just like that, 2-0 crunch. Columbus strikes right back. Mon ami, yeah, he's one of those guys with the one name. 4-2 Invaders. The crunch get a big lift from Nicky Vinjanovic. The explosive three-point goal, and the crunch led it 11-7 at the half. A huge night for Nicky, too. He finishes with this one. It's a hat trick. He ends up with 4 goals tonight, and the crunch clobbers Columbus 23-11. Great news for the Lumberjacks. They skated out of Fort Wayne tonight.
Excitement.
That support.
Man cluttering up my hallway. Who is this unfortunate?
Someone Christ, King of the Jews.
Oh, so this is Jesus.
Break, his defense attorney and alleged lover, Pamela Barbrother,
Threw herself from that window in the criminal courts building.
She suffered massive hemorrhaging, concussions, and contusions. Some say worse. She escaped death by only a hair's breadth.
Clearance. 12. The teacher.
Allison. 2 rocket launchers and the new APS flamethrowing system. All standard. Drive the 19.
Saturday, November.
Mars.
About with Botha. He has been out of the ring for 335 days. Long time. A fact.
The drug says.
And I want to
One arm. That's Nick Goshi grabs it and does a great job defensively for the Hilltoppers. Then Weidig, outstanding young quarterback, gets the ball up, but a great grab there by Makar deep into Willoughby South territory. Then Weidig, great play fake, carries it out nicely. There's Zach Brazes for the touchdown, and it was 9-7 Chardon. Then in the fourth quarter, Weidig with a sneak. He sneaks it over from 1 yard. It was 16-7 Chardon. The Rebels come back. The halfback pass is complete to Alex Wysocki, complete with a penalty as well. They would kick a field goal to make it 16-10, but the Hilltoppers said enough of that. That's how it ended, 16-10, as the Hilltoppers pick up the victory in competition tonight. So Chardon, who was state champions mark in 1994, looks to try to do the same thing here in 1996. Back to you.
Hilltoppers look good, John, but anyone who can run like that is Les Schrader, not a Schroeder. Well, another huge battle in Division II was at Finney Stadium where Solon met Wadsworth. The undefeated Solon Comets against the undefeated Grizzlies of Wadsworth. Look at the big man go. That's Hubert, the big Grizzly. In the key, he stepped out at the 1. Rob Sundell from the 1-foot line. Did he get in? Ref said yes. We're tied at 7. On the ensuing kickoff, Solon's Grant Carter takes the boot at his 11. Look at this guy go. Weaves through, gets some great blocks. Adios, bye-bye, sayonara, see you later. He is gone, 89 yards. Touchdown, 14-7 Solon. In the second, Solon's quarterback, Mike McLaughlin, takes everyone by surprise. It's a QB draw. Look at this kid take off. Forget it, he's gone. 80-yard sprint for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion was good. They were off to a 22-7 lead at the half. The Comets wallop Wadsworth 43-7. Down the road in Barberton, a clash of rivals. Akron Springfield and Uniontown Lake. Fox 8 sports reporter Dan Coughlin is at the Fox 8 Akron Bureau. Danny's got the report on this game. Fire away, Danny.
Mark, they've got great football teams in the Akron area, and there's not much difference between Division I and Division II, sometimes by only a few male students in a school. Tonight, saw a great one in Barberton. Let's go to the pictures. A crowd of 84,000 in 8,400 in Magic Stadium. Springfield and Uniontown Lake. Jason Cunningham returns the opening kickoff 60 yards to set up Uniontown Lake's only touchdown. But Springfield retaliated. Bo James returns the kickoff 75 yards to tie it at 7-all. First of 3 touchdowns for James. Remember the name. He's headed to Ohio State on a wrestling scholarship. Still the first quarter, and Bo will score from 5 yards away, and Springfield takes a 14-7 lead. Uniontown Lake threatened. Joe Kurtz will find a wide-open Dave Tesmiars for a first down, but the Blue Streaks could not finish their drives. Third quarter, James scores his 3rd touchdown on a 16-yard run. It's 21-7 Springfield. The Spartans' quarterback, Chip Woods, went 41 yards for Springfield's last touchdown, and it was 28-7. And Woods also intercepted 3 passes. Look at this interception coming up. And Springfield rolls into the second round, 28-7. Couple great football players down here, Mark. Bo James and Chip Woods. Remember those names.
Barely got it. Take your time, jam it.
In this Division II tournament.
Chip Woods for you. The judge glass their tabulations.
His name is not Schrader or Schroeder.
I understand that. Now everyone gather around the television set. Here is the Friday Night Grandstand board. Wannabes. This is Jimmy K. Great game tonight.
You were in the contest last year, weren't you?
Yeah.
And what have you been doing since last year? We missed you. What have you been up to? I mean, tell everybody. We've really missed Cheryl. What have you been doing?
Not much. About the same thing. I do some modeling, and I'm taking acting classes right now down here in South Beach.
Great. From who's your acting coach?
Sherry Faith. Great.
Can you give us a little act? How about you act like you just won right now? Give me a I just. That was good, Cheryl. All right. Good luck today. Okay.
One more time, guys, a nice round of applause for beautiful Cheryl.
All right, please welcome to the final round right here at the Beach Bash, contestant number 2. This is Christine.
Where'd you get those beautiful green eyes? You're not a little Irish in there, maybe?
No Irish, only Dutch, English.
And Polish?
No, that's my married name.
Well, that's okay. So you're married. Is your husband here today?
No.
Does he know you're doing this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good, good. And he told you to come down and do this?
No, I've been doing this for a long time.
He wants you to win that truck, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
That would be nice to have, wouldn't it?
That'd be great.
Moving right along, contestant number 5. From Coral Gables, this is Paula.
We're talking to today's contestants, and right now I'm with lovely...
Paula Andrade.
What's your last name?
Andrade.
And what is that?
My last name.
I know. Oh, good one. But what nationality?
Oh, I was born in Peru, but my mom's Cuban, so I'm half Cuban and Peruvian.
Oh, Peruvian. You have a little boo-boo on your finger. What happened?
With the leg. So we're doing...
Oklahoma City isn't too far from Dallas, and I hear some Darryl Terrell fans out there.
Yes.
His idols in bodybuilding are Flex Wheeler and Sean Ray, and you know, those are my boys, so he picked the 2 right guys there.
Both those...
Thank you, Paula. Here we go, contestant number 6. From Miami, Florida. Once again, please say hello to Michelle.
Michelle, my belle.
For a living.
I'm an architect.
Graduated architect, or you're studying to be an architect?
Graduated.
Really? From what school?
University of Miami.
That's great. That's great. What about building the perfect man? What would you do to do that?
Well...
think.
Not very choosy. Romantic, understanding, intelligent.
Oh, that's that.
If he expected to win it.
I don't think about it that way. I mean, nothing's written in stone, and...
Give it up one more time for Michelle. Your next contestant number 7 in the final round this afternoon is a professional model. Please say hello one more time to Catherine.
The bodybuilder has to maintain their muscle and just lose body fat. So it's a very strict diet, but you have to eat a lot of good food.
21 years. What do you do for a living?
En Miami, hace 3 semanas vivo acá.
She lived for 3 weeks in Miami. She's just visiting? ¿Estás visitando?
No, me pienso quedar un año.
¿De dónde es tú?
De Colombia.
She's from Colombia. She coming for visiting. Maybe she live in the future in Miami. That's great. Is this your first bikini contest? ¿Es el primer concurso de bikini que tenés?
Sí, es el primero.
Yeah, this is the first. Well, you're very, very beautiful, and good luck today, and you look like you got a great chance of winning. Que tenés mucha chance y ojalá que puedas ganar.
Gracias.
Catherine, turn around and go back the other way. Now.